Hello, and
Yo.
welcome to Tales from the Backlog.
Oh, you meant live. I thought you meant going to the opening song.
There isn't one.
Oh, that's good to know.
I don't have that kind of time.
All right. Hi.
Surprise!
My
Off to a
name
great
is
start.
Steve Boshear. You can see me in that chair every Friday night, and occasionally on Monday nights on our Twitch channel. This chair. There we go.
I'm not a chair.
No, but this chair, whatever.
This corner of your screen,
Yeah. Yes.
the power corner.
Yes.
I have two edges of the screen.
This is episode 2 of Tales from the Backlog, where we find new games to play and try them out with a rotating cast, including rotating who's in the GM seat. We'll get to her in a moment. I just want to let you know first, check out our ongoing Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition game on Friday night, in which myself and Matt will appear on a regular basis. And I actually believe this is our last Tales from the Backlog for this year, because we're doing holiday hiatus stuff and then coming back in January.
January 4th.
Cool, January 4th.
Monday, January 4th. Mark your calendars now.
So
Buy your 2021 calendar and mark it.
So, Sarah, why don't you tell us what we are doing tonight?
I'd be delighted, Steve.
Thanks.
This evening, we are returning to the work of Garrett Howitt. Right? And I've immediately screwed that up. We're returning to the work of Grant Howitt. Grant Howitt, of course, of patreon.com/GSHowitt, GSHOWITT. And we are playing this evening a one-page game from Grant Howitt called Beautiful Space Pirates.
Yeah, we are.
I am Sarah Boshear. I'm going to be your game master for this evening. Joining me are 4 beautiful space pirates.
Yes.
Where?
There and there. Hey, I got it right. There you go. That's where they go.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Shall we go around really quickly? Everybody just introduce yourself and your character name really quick. Let's start with Steve.
I'm Steve, and I will be playing Mandrake Harm. I am an epic space whaler / pirate with blue skin and flame green hair, which is actually made out of flames.
That's more than your name and your character name. Next, Matt.
You didn't say to stop at the name. I wanted to do a thing.
You can do a thing. You can do a thing in the game
All right, fine.
when it's dramatically appropriate.
Fine.
I am Matt, and I am playing Huff Conry.
All right. Up
Is
high.
that too little? Should I
Nope,
do more?
that's fine.
Okay.
If you want to give us like a one-sentence description, that seems to be the
Oh.
pattern now.
Okay. Well then, I am an ex-pirate turned successful spice trader, and I'm basically a werewolf wearing clothes and has weapons and things.
All right. Jason, introduce yourself, sir.
I am Pyrite, one of the semi-precious pirate princes, and all-around dandy.
Marvelous.
I get it.
Yes.
I was saying peer in my head.
You're just getting that?
Yep.
Yeah, I was also Pyrite in my head. I love Pyrite.
That's so much better.
Yep.
It
was
is
like,
a lot
where'd
better.
he come up with this weird name?
All right. And Carissa.
I'm Carissa, and I am playing Twilex's Bonnie. And after my pirating days, I have converted to legitimate salvage operations. Definitely legitimate.
Wow, a lot of us
Definitely.
went so clean afterwards.
Nope, whaler.
Definitely legitimate.
All right.
Yeah, a spice trader. That's legitimate, right?
Yeah.
Real quick, Steve, the Twitch says Shadows of Arconia episode 60, Dungeons and Dragons.
It's
Just
always going to
pointing
be
that out.
wrong. Every attempt to change it fails.
Okay, great.
I have
As
to
long as
change
you're
it
aware.
like later.
We'll fix it in post.
Yeah. Every week I go onto Twitch and change the name of the episode we just did because it won't let me change it.
And on that note, it's funny, as all of you have indicated, you are former pirates rather than current pirates, because in fact the four of you have something in common. You are the former crew of the infamous pirate captain Balthasar Germain. 5 years ago, you terrorized the galaxy with him before he betrayed you, stole the majority of all the treasure you had gathered together, and left the four of you for dead. Yes, yeah, it's bad. It was bad. You all escaped and went your separate ways. But now, you've each received a message. In its various ways, this message has worked its way onto dressers, under the doors of your luxurious space apartments, odd messages popping up on ship computers where they shouldn't be, inviting you to the funeral of Balthasar Germain, infamous space pirate, promising that this is not just a funeral, but a combination funeral and will reading. And you have been named in Balthasar Germain's will. And you are all invited to this reading at the orbital pleasure satellite, formerly belonging to the King of Jupiter, which Pyrite is particularly concerning to you because that's your satellite.
Yeah, that's mine.
You're on it. And as you receive this message, as you sit there reading it, going, wait a second, you look out your airlock window and you see, sailing towards you through the depths of space, a luxurious space schooner. Its solar sails unfurled, coming triumphantly towards your dock. Tell me a little bit about your orbital pleasure satellite, if you will.
Well, I mean, it's the kind of place you can find any sort of pleasure you like. Do you like gambling? Do you like more R-rated sorts of pleasures? They're all here. It's genuinely not the sort of place you'd have a funeral. So, yeah, that's news to me.
It sure is. And
I
as
need to get
you
my people on that.
Yes, as you head down towards the dock, describe for us Pyrite and what we see as the camera follows you heading down to intercept this uninvited visitor.
Well, I mean, most of my visitors are uninvited, but this one is kind of egregious. This son of a bitch. So yeah, I throw on some good clothes and start taking the stairs two at a time, just dashing down, turning corners, sliding around people, because I am going to be the first person in that dock. I am going to be the person that greets this ship.
Absolutely. And describe for me really quickly what you look like as you come to a stop on this dock and as the door is open.
Yeah, as the door opens on me, I mean, everyone here is so fancy and so exciting. I actually pretty much look like a golden-haired guy, like just normal human in a very nice, if a little bedazzled, like suit. Like not really a tux. I don't like that's
that's too obvious. That's
much,
too much.
It's a really nice suit with like some like flare on it. Probably kind of dark. Just
subtle. Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe not what you'd expect, but it fits.
Yes. And you said you described yourself as the semi-precious. Are you actually made of jewel, or are you human?
Pyrite is human.
Okay, Very good. Thank you. All right. So as you arrive on this dock, you arrive in time to catch your breath, kind of compose yourself as the door swings open and the gangplank comes out. And toddling down the gangplank towards you is a little chubby robot on spindly legs that kind of wobbles like it walks as it walks. Floating after this robot is a enormous sarcophagus, absurdly over the top decorations here, inlaid with just like encrusted with jewels. And then behind it are kind of tromping three figures in dark veils. You can't really, they seem to be, they're just kind of like, they seem to be waiting. Like they're just there to kind of like, here we go, yay. And the robot toddles up to you, and you see he's actually carrying in his hand a little like bird cage that has what looks like a fennec fox in it, that kind of sort of big-eared, cutesy creature. And he says, "Hi, I'm Jim the Lawbot. I'm here to be your buddy. Today we're dealing with the last will and testament of Balthasar Germain. We're here to go to the atrium."
Yokono.
Who invited you here?
Oh, arrangements have been made by Balthasar Germain. Check your files. And the robot holds out to you a sheath of paper, which is pretty surprising since paper doesn't really exist anymore. And you flip through it and you realize that he does indeed have a contract to use the atrium of your pleasure satellite for a undisclosed social event. And it is cross-signed, double-checked, every I and T correct. And as you're flipping through this, Jim, the Lawbot, is toddling past you down the hallway with the sarcophagus and the three attendants following him. And yeah, as you would expect, you know, from Jim the Lawbot, who is one of the infamous infallible Lawbots, everything, it's locked up tight. There's no way to get out of that legally. And he's already off, but as he's walking off to the atrium, like he knows where it is, you see coming in towards you another craft heading towards your dock. And who would like to go next? Who else is arriving at the orbital pleasure satellite, formerly belonging to the King of Jupiter?
I will go last.
All right.
I'll go.
Carissa. Oh, Carissa put her hand up first.
All right.
Describe to me how you arrive.
I am on what appears to be a kind of raggedy. What am I on? Did you specify?
No, you can pick whatever you'd like to ride in on.
That's great. It's a pleasure sloop. It is
Nice.
perhaps a little past its best days, but she's got gorgeous low lines, a really, really, really big foresail, just really, really beautiful. She's all deck and all hull, and she's made not quite for racing, but like to travel in style.
Mm-hmm.
And I am just cruising in to the orbital pleasure thing.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of berths available. You dock easily with a nice smooth.
I go in, I just tap it back.
Yep.
I don't.
Gorgeous landing, and you
Perfect.
stroll on in.
Yes, I do.
And just,
I
Mhm.
flip my mohawk from one side to the other,
Nice.
and I kind of hold my chainsaw staff. Orbital. It's also not orbital. It's a circular saw staff.
Nice.
And I look over the edge, and I hold up my personal journal,
Mm-hmm.
in which appeared a personalized invitation to the funeral of the man I most hate in the world.
Yep. And you
And-
see. Oh, sorry. Continue.
I just yell, "What is going on here?"
And you see on the dock your old crewmate, Pyre Wright. You are still standing there holding this sheaf of papers in your hand. Is this the first time you guys have seen each other since your escape from certain death? Or have you stayed in contact over the last 5 years?
I'd say I've mostly kept to myself. Done my own thing, got my own satellite.
I mean, I visited the satellite once or twice on
Okay.
personal
That makes sense.
business, but I've never dropped in to say hi. I think we've maybe sent half a dozen messages, but first time seeing you in person, man. You're looking, well, like you.
Yes, I do. So what is going on here?
As you say that, you see the next craft coming in. Matt, you're up. How do you arrive?
It first comes in a large craft, far too big to dock directly with this station. But it's not a pretty ship. It's like the top portion is more of like a ship with spider-like claws that are huge underneath it that hold giant containers of shipping materials and kind of picture the top of a Star Destroyer and the bottom of a like a tanker or like one of the big ships that what are those called? The shipping containers that push those. And from that comes a smaller vessel that looks a bit more like. It looks very fast. It's a lot of engine, and it's very long and narrow. It flies in, and it is this ship that's going to be docking with your station.
And I have to ask. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Sure. Go ahead.
I was going to say I have to ask you because one of these is one of your touchstones.
Yes, this is that ship.
Yes. So this is
the Terpsichore's Vaunt. Is that how you say it?
Vaunts.
Oh my gosh!
I think.
Yeah,
It looks like Tror. Terpsichore is what it looks like to me.
Terpsichore.
Yeah.
That sounds better.
Terpsichore. Terpsichore. Terpsichore.
Terpsichore.
I don't know where the emphasis
We should put it in
goes.
chat and have somebody
All right.
look up. Anyway,
Yes.
the smaller star skimmer that I'm taking over,
Yeah.
ferrying me over is that ship.
All right.
Because it's my best looking ship.
It is. And it has been in your family for generations, has it not?
It has been, yes.
All right.
I inherited it a few years ago, shortly after the whole history with Balthazar.
Sounds good. You two are easily able to find a berth, come in. Anything particular in how you come in or get yourself down to the dock? Where you
It's a good landing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the bottom opens up. Out comes a 7-foot tall, very, very strong looking wolf character. He's got a deep purple eye, only one because he has an eye patch covering the other. He looks like he's wearing robes, like he's attempting to look fancy, but it just doesn't quite work with his physique. His fur is definitely the cleanest it's been in a long time, probably, but his hand. Oh no!
What's
What?
wrong?
Are you there? Did you?
We
lose
can
me?
still hear you.
You're
Go
fine.
ahead.
Oh,
Everything's fine.
That was weird. It did the whole Skype beep for me for a second.
Oh,
Oh,
oh, you were fine.
connection.
Great. So yeah, he's wearing these robes that are an attempt to look fancy, with some medals that he got from trading or whatever. Nothing like really important, but it looks cool.
Nice.
So he walks up, followed by a robot, an android, that's dressed sort of like a Western marshal.
Right.
Like even the cowboy hat and everything. But he's clearly a robot with no functionality other than he hands Pyre a tablet that has the invite on it. Puff is gonna.
Sorry.
Is first gonna look over. Is everyone at the same dock right now? Like,
Yes,
am I
you're
staying
all in the
before
same
everyone?
location.
Okay, he's gonna look
Except
over
for
at
Mandrake, who
Twixlis.
hasn't gotten there yet.
Yeah, first, after as the android's handing it over, and kind of give her a sniff. You still smell good.
Did you just sniff me?
Perhaps. He's gonna like turn back to Pyre.
I'm looking over this invite. Do you know how many more people are showing up for this?
This is not your doing.
No, this is news to me. I just learned of it, and I hold up the actual papers that I was just handed, which, funny enough, were dated before I took this station.
Now, not to get too into contractual issues, but wouldn't that contract have been part of your purchase negotiations? Shocking that you would overlook such a detail.
Purchase?
And on that note, we're going to have our last, you see through the great wide open doors of the dock, a final craft approaching.
It is a gigantic ship made of what appears to be wood with an open deck and tall masts. It looks like that. I don't know if that's on camera.
It is.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, and it is.
There.
It's that, but it has sails to the sides and below it as well, which are catching some sort of cosmic wind. You don't know what. But they sparkle and shimmer, and they flap in a non-existent breeze. And somehow you get the sense that they sound rhythmic, like drum beats, even though sound cannot travel through the vacuum of space. You feel in your souls that there is a drum beat accompanying the ship as this... and then it's also, like, unnecessarily gaudy. Like, it's clearly a working vessel. It's got harpoons all over it and stuff, but everything is really polished. There are places where there's, like, gems around the portals and things like that. There are all sorts of, like, designs and logos stitched into the sails. And instead of docking, it actually just passes really close to the station. And then you see a person come jumping off the side of the dock. And
Man, can I ask a quick question?
you may.
Yeah.
That's sewn into your sails. Is it just like esoteric stuff, or are those like sponsorships?
Mandrake actually won't tell you. But yeah, I come leaping off the side of the ship, and I get larger and larger as I approach the dock, shipless. And you see that I am holding a rope, which, as it comes into the station's gravity, I swing down on in a very swashbuckly fashion, land, do a roll, and then just sort of pose and present myself.
Just as flashy as I remember him.
And I make a big show of brushing off my iridescent quasar whale skin coat. As mentioned earlier, I have green fire for hair, blue skin. One eye, the right eye, has been replaced by a cybernetic camera, as have my neck, my right hand, and you can't tell right now, but you guys know from the past, My entire left arm is also prosthetic. And I just stand there for long enough for everyone to see me, and then I kind of like turn away, pull out a little radio, and go, "Hey, that was great. You can pull away now." And I'm gonna put it away.
My little mouse ears go from like being attentioning forward to just like flat back and pissed off. And I just look at Mandrake and I'm like, Mandrake, you ass. And I roll my eyes.
It occurred to me that I could save our good friend Pyre some dock space.
It occurred to me too. That's why I brought in my smaller ship.
Ah, well, some of us don't have quite the wealth of ships that you have.
As you guys are having this reunion on the dock, there are other people, other guests of the Pleasure Satellite kind of pushing, or in the case maybe staggering drunkenly past you, back and forth along the pathways. You can just see across the dock, you can see the atrium, which is really the jewel of the pleasure station. Its big glass dome, its intricate golden filigree. You can just kind of catch the movement as presumably Jim the Lawbot and his companions have arrived. You can catch the little flash of jewels off of that sarcophagus. They seem to have made it up to the atrium. What would you guys like to do?
Why would he bring us all back?
You know how that old bastard was?
Yeah, he
Always
left us
pulling
all for
shit
dead.
like this.
Manipulative, selfish, also very confident in our abilities to survive and escape whatever peril he left us in. And, you know, showy enough to want to show off the fact that he knew that. No? That too much psychology?
Sour grapes is what I hear.
I feel like he's just
We got
rubbing
played.
salt into a wound.
He won. End of story.
I have some very sour grapes right here.
Pyre's just been
Share.
holding a
Share.
glass
Pull
of
out a
wine
flask.
this whole time. And
Yes.
Well, let's get this over with so I
Yes.
can hit the 40 roulette tables.
yes, you see, incidentally, Pyre, in the paperwork handed that a whole buffet and several of your finest wines have been ordered for this event.
Will there be crabs?
Obviously, there will be crabs.
Hey, what are we waiting around here for then?
Titan crabs or Neptune crabs?
I was just going to ask that.
I have both. This is a pleasure satellite.
Pyre,
you like
can we just
the
make
other-
sure?
God,
Can we just make sure the Titan crabs and the Neptune crabs are on separate plates?
obviously,
Okay, thank you.
you don't put them together. That's you're getting right into cross contamination there.
I know it was early in your tenure, but the last time I came here and tried the crabs, they were on the same plate. It was kind of a problem.
And I'm already calling up to like my support staff to open up 3 rooms to be staying over for an indeterminate time.
Oh no, it's okay. I'll stay on my sloop.
We have very nice accommodations here.
I have very nice accommodations right here. And I expect your hospitality will extend to perhaps covering the dock fees for the duration of the funeral and maybe a couple days following.
I'm gonna pull out a platinum credit chip and toss it to you and say, I'll take one of your suites. I might acquire myself some guests later on.
Paul
I'm
Matt,
in the middle of a trade route, so I'm out of here as soon as this is over.
But you're a very, very nice guest, Pyre. Like, really, you've really matured. in that sense.
That's lovely to hear.
He has come a long way.
All right. On that note, you guys go ahead and head on over to the atrium. I'm assuming we're going directly there. There's nothing else to do on the way. When you,
it's a pleasure station. How is there not anything else?
There is plenty to do on the way.
There's tons to do.
But I will add that the invite gave a start time that is pretty much now, and did say that you will not be eligible for your inheritance if you are late.
Okay. As we're walking, I do like sniff at some of the workers. I assume they're workers, maybe they're guests, and I turn to Pyre. All right, maybe I'll take a room.
Good. I hope you enjoy it.
And with that, you barge in through the double doors of the atrium, and you find a scene there that has already been set up in just 10 minutes that you've been gone. Jim the Lawbot has arranged the sarcophagus in the center of the room, in kind of the place of honor. There's a couple rows of chairs facing it. The buffet is to the side, very subtle, very nice spread, very tasteful. The three attendants that came in, the veiled figures, are all kind of huddled in the back. One of them has got like her veil hitched to the side and is smoking. Like they're just waiting, like kind of like grips standing around waiting for something to happen, if that makes any sense. Where it's very just like
smoking a cigarette. I think
yeah.
her veil was smoking.
Exactly. Yeah. No, she's got like one of those the sticks. What is they called again? A
vape.
Sharoon?
Oh, like a
vape. You know what? She's absolutely got a vape. Forget the cigarette. It's a vape. And she's blowing smoke. And most interestingly of all, these people are not alone. As Jim's toddling around, pointing things out, still with the little fennec fox cage in his hand, as the doors open and you four enter, four other people are in the room, and as one, all four of them turn around and lock eyes with the four of you. We're going to go in reverse order this time. Mandrake,
Yes.
your eyes immediately go to Sinestra Deathwine. Reformed supervillain, tell me in a couple sentences who Sinestra is to you, and what does she say? What is the first thing she says to you when you lock eyes with her?
To me, she is a former, she is a frenemy / love interest. We have counter-swindled one another many times over the past decade. She is the only person I consider my rival in beautiful space pirateness. And when she sees me, I didn't know I was going to have to write her dialogue.
I can do it if you want.
no,
I just want to just give me her first line.
When she sees me, she says, "Mandrake, now I'm glad I came." And I'm just going to smile with my entirely gold teeth, 4 of which have diamonds embedded in them. And I'm just going to lean against whatever there is in here to lean against in such a manner that my
Yeah,
coat...
I was going to say, it's going to be one of these ones. So
Okay.
Puff. It's going to be Puff.
I'm going to lean against Puff in a manner that allows my coat to fall away from my laser flintlock on my belt and just smile at her.
Her smile broadens, and she oh so casually flicks away a piece of dust from her elegant laser rapier that is at her side. Not like a lightsaber laser rapier. The sword part is, metal, but it shoots lasers out of the other end.
Interesting.
Yes, it does. All right. Next up, Puff. You, of course, walk in and you immediately see Giselle Fleur-de-Lis, the rampant space wizard.
I stop immediately and like snarl a little bit. As Mandrake leans against me, normally I'd like let him fall, but I'm so taken in by Giselle that I don't. She's wearing like she's human. She's wearing a sleeveless, like hooded robe that's very fine, silky purple material that's very expensive and probably enhances her power somehow. She's definitely holding one of those long stick cigarettes, and she says, "Hello, darling." And I can't do anything but snarl and sort of clench a fist.
And she laughs and blows a puff of smoke. Says, eloquent as always, my dear.
Did you want us to go into the history on that?
Sure. Give us a quick sentence about your history with her.
Okay, really quick. She got me into a dangerous situation that got me poisoned, and then saved my life by healing me from the poison, but also took my eye, which is why I have an eye patch now. So she saved my life, but also stole my eye.
All right. Okay.
Our relationship was purely sexual.
Do you say that out loud? Because that feels like it would be really funny if you did. You don't have to, though.
I wasn't going to, but now... No.
Just mutter that under your breath. You just think it really loudly.
Yes.
And
actually,
she doesn't...
Actually, I don't think I say it, but I do mumble it.
And she doesn't... She's too far away where she shouldn't be able to hear, but she just sort of chuckles and whispers something in Sinestra's ear. And the two of them exchange a look. And then let's have Twilexis. The next person in this line, of course, Horatio Kingson, the beautiful space prince with literal emerald eyes glimmering in his face as he lays emerald eyes on you. Tell me, who is Horatio Kingson to you? And what is the first thing he says? Yes.
Really quick pause. Sorry. It says the channel's offline.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if that's just on my end or if it's everything.
I'm guessing it's just on your end because we still show that we're streaming.
But why would it? Twitch says the channel's offline, so that's weird. I mean, let me reload it. Maybe I'm wrong.
Anybody can hear us.
It says it's live to me.
Say yes in the chat.
Yeah, Canuck, let us know.
Canuck's probably asleep by now.
All right, I'm going to keep moving forward. I'll let you do the tech support. We'll loop back around if we need to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jay, hey, Josh.
Hey, yeah, Joshua's here.
What's up?
We are definitely live. I'm watching
All
on my
right,
phone.
right.
Okay,
and
great.
Canuck, too. Thank you, Canuck.
Okay, thank you guys.
Saved by the chat. Thanks, guys. Twilexis, what does Horatio Kingson, the emerald-eyed space prince, say to you?
Well, I don't notice him immediately at first, because as I'm walking in, I'm trying to make a wager with Pyrite.
Yeah.
I want to know how many credits he'll bet on Balthazar really just messing with us and bringing us to this funeral where he's going to announce that we get nothing. Pyrite, what do you say? And at that moment, as I'm holding out these credits, trying to make this wager, is when Horatio shouts, "That's my ship!" And freeze. And I look at him, and with more passion than I've ever felt in, the last decade of my life, I just hiss, "It's legitimate salvage."
Yes. All right.
And
Brilliant.
And there is like true tension because, of course, Horatio is a old flame, off and on again. But we got real hot and heavy about 3 years ago, and now I have a really nice pleasure sloop.
He tosses his gorgeous hair back, and just eyes. He was like, "We'll continue this conversation after the funeral." And he looks over to Sinestra and to Giselle. He says, "After the will reading. This is not over, Bonnie."
To it. I'm just like really stoked to see him actually. It's really fun.
I'm really stoked to see you too. All right.
I might eat now.
Okay. Yes. He flips his hair back again, and like a breeze comes out of nowhere and just like kind of blows it back. Pyrite, you realize he's actually stationed himself right below the vent, so that when he moves slightly, that blows his hair back dramatically.
I'm gonna, as I'm leaning against Puff, I'm gonna just mutter real quietly to you, all kinds of fucking tension in here, isn't there?
I can smell it all.
You say that stuff a lot. It's kind of weird.
And
It's my primary sense.
and that brings us, speaking of primary sense, to Pyrite. You've got a lot on your mind, so you are perhaps, as you take in this room really quickly, adding up rapidly how much this is costing you to be doing your pleasure satellite, how much you should be making off of this, that you're going to eat the cost of. The last thing your eyes settle on is a figure standing a little bit off from the others, half in the shadow, eyeing you. And this, of course, Castor Wolf Howl, the pan-galactic daguerreotypist and canny muckraker. And you can see he's got his trusty daguerreotype typewriter on his back, ready to just sort of whip it around and start typing at any moment. And his fingers flex as he sees you walk in the room. Tell me who Castor Wolf Howl is to you.
So I kind of saw this a little bit different. Kind of
then,
similar.
Yep.
So as the last old flame, part 3 of 4 is the wind, the air conditioning is blowing into their hair, and I'm thinking, why is this doing this? And I try to get some of my tech people on the line to go, hey, can you fix this freaking air conditioning vent that you got me here. And I look over and there's Castor Wolfhowl, just livid.
Oh, yeah.
And I, just the color drains from my face. And I glance over, take a deep breath. Babe, it's not my fault. I had nothing to do with this. This was all Balthazar's doing. I would not have brought you here because I'm being a good ex and not getting into your business. And of course, he does not believe me at all.
Mm-mm.
This is explicitly the kind of bullshit I would pull, and probably one of the reasons he constantly broke up with me.
Yeah, he waves the invite at you and is like, really? You didn't fake this? You think I don't know a fake when I see one? And as he's saying this, Sinestra elbows him in the ribs and is like, that's literally a sarcophagus right behind you. I'm pretty sure this is real. And he goes, fine. Still your fault. It's your satellite.
It's pretty weird that the 4 of us and our 4 ex lovers are the only ones invited to this funeral so far. This is like really awkward.
And
Giselle
as
was
you
never a
say
lover.
that, there is like a little chime in the air, like a beautiful musical chime, and a dazzling starburst portal into the room, and trotting out on his beautiful crystal hoofs that chime like wind chimes in the air comes Gimenez, the crystal horse. And he trots into the room, tosses his mane back, says, "My friends, I have sensed your distress and I have come." Oh, it's you two again. Oh, God.
I have, as soon as he entered, I have stopped leaning on Puff. And I'm standing up straight now, and my arms are like open, like involuntarily. I'm like, Gimenez, you're here.
Yes, Mandrake. Yes, go ahead.
Well, I gotta get my ears up. Now just like one of them goes back. Because I'm jealous of Mandrake and his obviously deep connection with Gimenez, who is also my childhood horse of summers on the distant, what kind of ranch is it? It's like a deserty ranch.
A
And I
crystal
didn't
ranch.
have any
It was a crystal
friends, and I
ranch.
went there every summer, and my only friend was Gimenez, and just the fact that he showed up right now, like, is making me cry a little bit. But like, step off, Mandrake. Step off.
And
As
as
you
soon
think
as you-
step off, Mandrake actually steps in front of you a little bit. I'm so glad you came to see me.
And I just
Go ahead.
pull out from my back, from one of my like pocket compartments, a handful of like freeze-dried apple, and just like tentatively hand it to Gimenez, and I say, "I understand. I love you." And that's
And
it.
he very carefully, as Mandrake steps in front of you, Gimenez sort of side trots like one of those dancing horses, trying to keep an equal distance between both of you. And he says, "Both my friends, how nice to see you together again. My dear ones, I have missed you, both of you, in a perfectly equal and non-preferable way. Let us all be friends
I'm
together."
gonna nod and wink my actual biological eye at him. I understand.
And at that, Jim the Lawbot plays a little tune that sounds something like doo 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 doo. Hey everybody, it's me, Jim the Lawbot, here to commence your legal proceeding, the last will and testament of Balthazar Germain. Let's have everybody take their seats. Okay, he goes straight in without waiting for anybody to sit down. I'd like to welcome you all to the funeral/will reading/wake of Balthazar Germain. Here to kick off the proceedings, Balthazar! And the sarcophagus flies open, and a skeleton pops up. Goes,
I've already shot at it.
and
I've
it
also
goes.
drawn my shotgun. A laser shotgun.
And I'm gonna say that out of the other badge, Giselle has fired off a fire blast as well, and Castor has dove underneath a chair. Serratio has pulled a knife, and only Sinestra is completely just like, yeah, this is very much what I expected. And both of your shots, yours, Mandrake's, and Giselle's, hit, and there's a poof, and the skeleton is still there, looking a little bit burned and crispy now, and now you can see kind of the mechanical pieces that are holding it up. The desiccated corpse, as much as a desiccated corpse can look like somebody, that sure does look like Balthasar Germain.
Well,
Because-
it's all right,
Arr!
everyone. He's definitely dead now.
Greetings, my guests, and welcome to one last joke. Ha 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 ha! I sincerely hope at least one of you got off a shot. Ha 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 ha!
I'm reloading.
Welcome to my final whatever this is. Ha 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 ha!
So I have stepped over, and now I'm just like leaning on the withers of Kinshalegian and like just petting him.
Yes,
So
it's
this
very
is-
soothing.
It's
It's
very.
it's just like a full like everything New Age people say about crystals. That's what you're feeling right now.
Yeah.
It's all real when it comes to Kinshalegian.
I'm feeling very centered.
Yes,
My ears are round and happy.
your
and,
aura is clearing up as you speak. Yeah, it's
like
amazing.
I'm good with the skeleton corpse of Balthazar. Like, yeah.
Mhm.
Pyre, I
Uh,
think you owe me like 50 credits.
I wish to spend my final appearance with the people I love the most. The best crew I ever had. Pyre, Puff, Twilexis, Manny.
Don't call me that!
And the other best crew I ever had. Sinestra, Giselle, Castor, Sparky over there with the green eyes. Incidentally, this is news to all of you. You had no idea that your respective exes ever worked with Germain, and from the look on their faces, they didn't know the same about you. This seems to be very confusing to everyone here. And of course, these well-compensated professional mourners. And the back of the lady was like, oh, like putting down the vape, like, This will continue. Please imagine this sound continuing throughout the next speech.
Now my ears go down.
Can we kill them?
But I know what you're all here for. The money. The money that you so graciously allowed me to steal from you all. Ha 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 ha. Arr. And yet, what good is money? I ask that as I record these last words before my imminent demise, sitting in my golden bathtub, bathing in champagne, surrounded by the company of the most beautiful men and women this galaxy can provide me. But where was I? Yes, what good is money if it can't buy me love?
What?
And so, my final request. Take it away, Jimmy! And there's like this as the machine powers down, and it's sort of like chunks him
Now on
backwards
fire.
into the sarcophagus. Yes. What do you fire? What does your gun do? I didn't ask earlier.
It shoots. It's a shotgun blast of lasers.
Yeah, you hit him. I mean, it's no challenge.
I'm having trouble visualizing that.
And yeah, and it's I feel like a cup. Yeah. And
Instead
it
of
just-
lines, it's like a bunch of laser balls, basically.
Yeah. It looks pretty rad, but it's an easy, and as it just bounces off of him, and he looks a little bit more
Dead.
blown up. Yes. You also take out part of the sarcophagus. Like there's and Giselle smacks down the gun. She's close enough to you to do that. Like, hey, that thing is worth something. And Jim the Lawbot steps in. Hey, everybody! It's time for the reading of the will.
Fuck
And
you.
he puts down the fennec fox on top of the sarcophagus, the part that hasn't been blown up by your various shots and fireballs. And he pulls out... Yes.
While he's about to read it, I maintain eye contact with him while I open the breech. It's like a breech-loaded one-shot shotgun, and like slide a new giant shell into it and lock it back into place.
Yes.
Menacingly at him.
All right. At Jim or at Balthazar?
Jim. As
At
he's
Jim.
reading the will, he's pulling out the will.
He is completely unperturbed. His face he does not have an interactive face. He is just like permanently frozen in this smile as he bobbles out into the middle and pulls out, he just puts his hands together and like opening a scroll and a digital document unfurls between his hands. And he says, so that Balthazar Germain shall be remembered for his selfless concern for the galaxy, he has instructed that all his wealth and worldly goods shall be bequeathed entirely to whichever of his 2 crews kill the dreaded beast of Briar. Shink! As seen here. And he points to the little cage with the tiny fennec fox inside of it.
Is this a joke? Because I don't remember Balthazar being that funny.
Horatio pulls out his laser pistol and shoots the fox. And then everything gets very interesting very quickly. Does anybody else want to take any action as soon as Horatio fires at that fox really quickly?
I do want to use my circular saw staff to try to come down directly on top of the cage.
Okay.
About half a moment following Horatio's shot.
Got it. Let me have anybody else going to take any action on this turn?
I'd like to try and dive at Castor, trying to knock him out of the way of any reprisal attacks.
Yes. Okay. And Mandrake and... Oh, go ahead, Puff.
I'm getting uncomfortably close to Giselle as if I can't control myself.
Okay. And Mandrake, anything you're going to do?
Yeah, this is the perfect moment for my once per session ability.
Oh, boy.
Trigger a Mexican standoff in my favor. Is
Okay.
it too late, or is the fox already hit?
It is too late. The fox is hit.
Is
Yes.
it dead?
No.
Then
So
I'm doing the thing.
Let me go ahead then. Before you do that,
Okay.
please go ahead and let me have... Everybody is going to go ahead and make a challenge roll. So Twilexis, you're rolling against a 4. Pyre, you're rolling against a... Pyre and Puff, you're rolling against a 3. And Mandrake, stand down for just a second. I'll come to you in a sec.
All right.
What am I rolling?
Yeah, what am I rolling?
That is up to you. You can decide. I would suggest that you are going to roll... Twilexis is going to roll Daring, because this is going to be a action move. But you can roll Vicious if you prefer.
Wait,
Actually, no, you're going to roll Vicious. Yes, because
unclear.
this is an attack.
What die do I roll?
You roll a d6 for your Vicious.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Because I got it.
Yes.
Next.
So your move, because it's an attack, that is a Vicious dice. So you're going to roll your Vicious dice against a 4. Pyre, to get Castor out of the way, I'm going to call that a Daring. So you are going to roll a d10, and you want to get a 3 or higher. Puff, you are rolling to try to control yourself. I guess that's going to be I will let you pick whether you can consider that daring or handsome. It doesn't feel vicious to me.
It's not
but-
vicious.
yeah.
Handsome.
I'd say
I-
daring, actually, but it's up to you.
Yeah.
You could argue either way.
I feel like
Mhm.
she'd be aiming her like magic at me, and I'd be aiming my shotgun at her, but we'd also be like really weirdly close.
Yes.
All right. Sorry, continue.
Okay, so let me start. Twilexis, what did you roll?
I rolled a 5.
Nice. You successfully shear straight through that cage, Ed, but when your circular saw hits the fox, just as Soratio's shot hits it as well, it just seems to stop right there on the fur. It does not go through. Pyre, what did you roll?
3.
3. So you met it. So let me just remember really quickly. Yes, you successfully tackle Caster out of the way, and yes, bring him down successfully. There's not a lot of flair to it, but it works. You get the job done. Puff, what did you roll?
5.
A 5. Yes, you successfully are hiding your. You pull yourself back. You get a grip on yourself, and your will holds not to move towards Giselle. And she looks over like a little impressed that you. She was expecting you to move over, so she is impressed that you did not.
It's definitely happened before.
Yes. Yeah. She can see that you've got a good grip on yourself, even in the midst of all this chaos.
Mm-hmm.
And Mandrake. So who exactly have you triggered this Mexican standoff with?
Well, as my fellow crewmates have all succeeded at their tasks, which are more or less preventing further action against the fox, I have pulled not only my laser flintlock in my right hand, but also produced a sonic harpoon gun in my left hand, which is enormous, and you have no idea how it was under my coat. Basically, I'm holding the entire opposing crew in a Mexican standoff, and I imagine the various guns pointing at different people in a classic multi-party Mexican standoff situation, wherein I, being the armed individual, am between them and my companions.
Very nice. Okay, and what is it you want to accomplish? What do you say as you draw your weapons on the opposing crew? You have the bead on them. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna say, all right, nobody move. Twilexis is taking the fox, and we're all walking the fuck out of here without you guys.
And as you say that, the fox kind of goes, and it looks up at you all with such wounded, shocked eyes that you would attack it. Such a helpless little creature. And then its
pick a fox?
face
It's so cute, I can't hurt it.
contorts into a tiny little needle-like teeth snarl. It goes, and it just seems to split right through its skin and expand before your eyes like it's popping out of an impossibly small space. It's getting bigger. 5 feet suddenly, 10 feet, 20 feet, stretching up towards the glass ceiling of the atrium. And you look up and and Sinestra, who's frozen and can't shoot her gun because you've got a bead on her, yells, "It's gonna blow! Get out!" And sure enough, it is growing to 30 feet. I want everybody to make me a daring roll. Sinestra, Giselle, Caster, and Soratio all sprint for those double doors that are an airlock seal, of course, as the beast of Briar presses up against the glass ceiling of the atrium. Everybody roll me a daring, please, against a task of 4.
I got 4.
You got 4? Oh, you got Mandrake got 3. Twilexis got 2. And Pyre?
10.
A 10. All right. So here's what happens. All of you make it to the door, but Twilexis and Mandrake, you are in the back. And as you are just in the doorway, as the Beast of Briar turns back to you both. And actually, you know what? May I borrow one of these really quickly? Let me get a...
Which one?
Do a D6. Yep. Okay. Yes, you two are in the back. The other crew has managed to get ahead of all of you. And as you are getting through the door, you hear that crack of glass and the shatter, and the Beast of Briar looks down at you. Now a 40-foot, furry, legless dragon monster. And it goes and regurgitates acid. And so both of you guys are going to go ahead and take one peril as the acid hits you.
What was the other one?
Mandrake and Twilexis both have one peril. But you do successfully make it through the door. Serratio grabs you, Twilexis. Mandrake, you make a dive for it. And you all make it through the door and slam it behind you as the alarms all over the station start going off. And you can see, flying through the air, the Beast of Briar. Yes, Puff?
Wait, through the air, did he break out of the glass?
He sure did.
Through space?
He
Okay,
went
so-
straight through the glass, and he is flying through space. And he looks very
Okay.
comfortable.
My
Right.
station.
Yeah, well,
And Serratio yells, "Get to the ship! We gotta chase that thing!"
I have already pulled out my my radio, and I'm saying, "Bring the ship back to the dock now!"
Who's got the best guns on their ship?
I'm literally a whaler with a whaling ship. Let's go!
I don't have any guns, but I kind of don't want to leave my ship.
The other crew is sprinting madly down the hall, and I assume that this conversation is happening
Yeah,
while
we're
you guys
running
are
and arguing
also
about what ship to take. Yeah.
on the run as well. As you go, Castor bumps into you, Pyrite, and mutters, "This is your fault! Your stupid space station can't even hold a dragon! Space dragon!"
I shove him over and just say to shut up.
He's right, Pier! Pyre!
And Sinestra says, "Yeah, this really isn't his fault, Castor. You really should let this go. Maybe some counseling." Under her breath. And they, you guys all hit the docks together and peel off. As you do, though, Puff, as you turn the corner, suddenly Gisele's staff is somehow caught between your ankles. Go ahead and roll me a daring against a task of 4.
All right. 5.
5? Okay. Yeah, you easily leap over the staff and, in fact, crunch down with your boot and hear kind of a crack. It's a very satisfying crack. And Giselle.
Can I see her?
Yes. She looks very upset. But she laughs it off like, "Captain, blame me for trying, darling." And with a flicker of those gorgeous magical robes, she peels off and gets herself safely away on the other side of Sinestra and Serratio, who are much bigger and blocking her. Does anybody...
I'm gonna take the broken staff.
Okay. Oh no, she keeps her staff, but you can pick up like a broken piece of it. You know what? If you want to steal the staff, make a roll for it. I'll give that a task
I want to
of
steal it.
8. Yes, that is a. That can either be vicious or daring.
Oh, it's definitely vicious then, because I'm gonna snarl and I'm gonna like grab it with my claws.
Okay, that's a task of 8.
Yeah, 7.
You make a good fumble for it, but you get like your hand around the broken end, and you feel it crack again a little bit more, but she yanks it straight out of your grip, and you just don't have the grip to hold on to it. And
I'll get you, Giselle.
She's off and sprinting down the dock towards a gorgeous high-end yacht, space yacht that's parked. All 4 of them are going for the same yacht, interestingly enough. What do you guys do? You are all on the dock. You have Twilexis's ship, you have Puff's ship, and you have Mandrake. You see your gorgeous schooner sailing in, but it's too big to dock. It's out.
No, they were never going to dock.
Wait.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Twilight, your ship should be fine here. Puff, your ship's really fast.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Honestly, I like Mandrake's ship, and I see a crane right there that we can use to swing onto it, and using my once per scene talent.
Yes.
Wait, what is your talent?
I can find a rope, rigging, or crane apparatus.
Oh, sick.
Nice. You sure can. You see that rope rigging crane apparatus, and yes, it looks like that reduces the challenge of the scene from an 8 down to a 4. It will be very simple to make that leap.
I wanted to clarify. They were never going to dock.
Mm-hmm.
My planned exit from this scenario, no matter what, was for them to swing past the dock and just drop a rope again for me to swing onto. So while we've been running, I have radioed them to please drop 3 additional ropes. So my ship will not only already be armed, but will already be in motion for the chase.
Yes. But I'm going to say that Twilexis's addition will make that a lot easier. Instead of grabbing a flying rope, you're going to be moving from a stationary object to the ship. Okay. So you guys can use, if you want, you can use the task 8 rope dangling off the ship, or you can use the task 4 crane that is conveniently extended.
Just because I have to be different,
I had a feeling you would.
I'm going to use the chandelier that I have found in a beneficial location, which I can do once per scene.
Well, of course. I mean, Pyre, what kind of pleasure satellite would this be if there weren't chandeliers in the docking bay?
Obviously, there is a very ornate and complex lighting arrangement right above our heads.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I have visited before, so I was aware of it. And I swing across that while the rest of them use their petty little crane.
That's right. But as you... Go ahead.
I just look at Mandrake and I just say, Mandrake, you ass.
I can't hear you because we're swinging through the air.
All right, so you two are both... go ahead and make your roll of 4. Twilexis, are you moving? You can make a roll of 4 as well.
This is daring.
I'm doing the crane.
Yeah.
Okay.
Daring?
Yes, definitely daring for everybody. Puff and Pyre, is there anything you want to do before you go? You can... Oh, boy. Okay.
Mandrake, you ass.
What?
I'm taking the crane with
Okay.
Alexis, mainly because she smells better.
So I missed the rope, and I'm just going into space.
Yeah. Just end over end like, oh.
But I'm making it look good.
Yes.
I'm gonna die.
Right.
Beautiful.
And really quickly, and Pyre, what are you doing?
Okay, so as we've been running to the docks, I'm radioing my crew.
Staff.
Yeah, my staff going, like, get that damn atrium fixed. I know it's gonna cost. I know we ain't making shit off this, but just fix it. Button down everything.
Sir, there was a very jewel encrusted item that came in. Do you know who that belongs to? we were to seize that, that might cover the costs.
Yeah, right now, that belongs to me. Seize it.
You got it.
And as we get into the dock, Twilexis just elegantly swoops off this crane. Puff, did you made your
I got a 4, so I made it.
Nope.
Puff
Efficiently, but not quite as elegantly. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
and Mandrake just goes and does what he's doing. I am going to, how am I going to do this? I'm going to grab onto the rigging, try and use the momentum from the swing to launch myself at Mandrake and catch him as I'm I guess kind of flying towards his ship.
All right. I am going to give that an 8, because that's a complex move. But
I'm going to fail horribly.
But you know, like, what is the
it,
point of being a beautiful space pirate if you don't go for it?
Is there anything on the ship I can use to help receive them, like a
Yes.
net?
You got a 9.
You got a 9. You
Never mind.
in just a truly epic move that just, embodies the spirit of beautiful space pirating. You swing out on this perfect arc, grab Mandrake, and
Can I at least get my arm out so that we clasp hands in an awesome
Oh,
fashion
yeah.
instead of
Yeah.
being grabbed like a child?
Oh.
Well, no, it's going to catch you around the
How do you
waist.
grab 'em?
yeah,
Fine. If you catch me around the waist, then I will put my arm around your shoulders and pose together.
Yeah.
grabbing Mandrake like a classic damsel in distress who's been rescued.
I'm just
And
going
you-
into it. I'm
yeah,
just like,
we gotta lean into it. Yes. And you land on your feet on the deck of Mandrake's ship, holding
can I turn
Mandrake
it-
in a bridal carry, and put him down.
and I'm
Can I
like,
turn it to Twilight?
that was awesome. Everyone saw how awesome we were, right? We did that together. That was great.
Puff, what's
I'm going to turn
Captain?
to Twilexis and be like, that's usually Mandrake doing it.
All right. You are all on the deck now of Mandrake's space whaler. Excuse me. The Beast of Briar is now writhing through space. He seems to have, more or less, as best you can tell, he seems to have stopped growing at about maybe 80 to 100 feet long. He is twisting and turning like a long serpent around space, and he seems to be making a circumference around your space station, Pyre, wrapping himself around one of the delicate arms of the Pleasure satellite, and you can hear the metal groan as he wraps your space station in his coils. What would you like to do?
I am yelling for my crew, there she blows! Fire, fire, fire! And they're just blasting all of the
My
harpoons.
station!
I was hoping.
Not at the station, you idiots! At the beast!
Okay, I am going to say you're going to need to make a roll to see if you can, Mandrake, you can roll on behalf of the crew to see if you manage to fire at the dragon without hitting the station.
That is vicious, I assume.
Sorry, yes.
What-
This will be a task of let's go with 8.
It's a giant beast.
Yeah, but 8 to avoid hitting the station.
Well, they
But
hit
it's
the
wrapped
station.
around my station.
They hit it.
It-
Yeah.
Yeah.
They hit your station a lot.
Yeah.
Whatever the difference between 5 and 8 is, that's how many times they hit your station.
They hit the station a good 3 times. And Mandrake, one of them, I'll say, to reflect the added peril that you're in, on the bounce back hits you in the gut. The gun rocks back with the recoil. That was the word I was looking for. And
I'm going to just lift up my big fluffy pirate shirt that I have under my coat.
Yes.
And just pull out of my bag a cybernetic skin patch, which I carry lots of at all times.
Naturally.
Just put it on.
What pirate wouldn't?
Yes, and I am now slightly more of a cyborg.
But yes, pyre.
I super have to pee.
Oh, actually, it's just about break time anyway.
Yes.
I was going to suggest that after we get on the ship would be a good time for a break.
Well, I will tell you what happens next. What happens next is that you do successfully, however, chase. The dragon does release the space station and flies off into the night. And you see the space yacht overhead. And out the window is Castor looking at you, Pyre, going, we're going to get it. And we will take our break there as the Beast of Briar flies off into the galaxy night.
Viewers and players, we'll be back in 10 minutes. See you then. Welcome back.
Hey.
Sorry.
Have it.
Have it.
You can take it. No,
Welcome back. Here's our show. Take it away.
As the Beast of Briar twists and turns off into the distance away from the orbital pleasure satellite, Mandrake says,
I say, Puff, is your ship faster than that yacht?
Much faster.
You got a crew that can fly it without you?
Not a living crew.
Well, are they?
Do you have a crew?
Robotic
that can fly
crew.
without you.
Okay, I thought you were going to say skeletons for a second. Call them
skeleton
up.
robots.
Call the robots. Tell them to block off that yacht.
The yacht's already sailing, but you can definitely, if you want to use your ship to stop the yacht, you can send your ship after it. The Terpsichore's Vaunt. You can get Terpsichore's Vaunt in play. I'll allow that.
Give me your phone. Davis has my phone.
I will toss you my phone.
Who's Davis?
My android that walked onto the deck with me.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about the android. Sorry.
Yeah. It's okay.
I will.
I did too.
While you are calling your ship, I will turn to Pyre and Twilexis, and I'm going to say my theory now. Listen, the thing was compressed to the size of a fox. All that gigantic mass pushed down into the size of a fox. That had to be why it was so indestructible. Now that it's expanded, I think we can probably hurt it. Do I know if this is bullshit, by the way? Because we did hit it sometimes, right? When we were shooting at it with the harpoons?
Yes. It looked like it was not enough to do it any damage, but it was enough to chase it away from the ship.
We chased it away from the station.
Yeah.
We obviously heard it.
Uh-huh.
There is a certain logic in what you say. And we don't really have anything else to go on right now, so lead on, Captain.
Twilight is actually just eating snacks from her belt at this time because, you know what, the boys, they've got it.
Yeah, I'm not at all surprised that you're not treating me with any sort of respect or awe, which is what I associate with respect. And
I throw the phone back really hard.
Can I
It's
catch
on
it?
its way.
I'm gonna catch it.
Yeah, catch it.
And then just stick it in my pocket. I'm gonna catch it and spin it. I believe that I have installed a ring on the side of my phone just so that I can spin it, and I'm gonna put it away. And then I'm gonna say, and if that doesn't work, we fly in its mouth.
No.
We'll put a pin in that.
Okay. And so you have two ships in play now. You guys are all aboard. You are all aboard Mandrake's ship. What is the name of your ship?
The USS Mandrake Harm.
All right, the USS Mandrake Harm, the ship. And
We see that
Terpsichore's
label and it's like, naturally.
and Terpsichore's Vaunt. You see it just it has fallen into formation behind you guys, and you
Its
can
instructions.
see David the android. You said David, right?
Davis.
Davis the android. I wasn't sure if that was like an alien Prometheus reference.
He's like, howdy, you all.
Yes. All right. At the helm, and he waves cheerfully. Is he actually wearing a cowboy hat?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I literally dressed him like a cowboy because Puff is secretly a fan of Western culture,
Of course.
history.
Naturally.
As he passes us, I will give him a captain salute.
All right.
Yeah.
So you guys, right now we are in for a quick chase here.
Yeah.
So you guys can choose. The Beast of Briar and the Space Yacht are both going very fast. It is going to be a task of 8 to overtake, and it's going to be a task of 4 to keep pace, to keep them in your sight, but not to engage. So.
Do you want me to take your helm?
I mean, I've got a pilot at the helm, but you know what? For old time's sake, sure.
What is the skill actually for?
I'm going to say steering a ship is daring. Piloting, steering a ship, yeah.
Pyre was the old pilot then, right? You're good at daring, right?
Yes, I am.
Well, if we want to do old time's sake, then we'll let Pyre take it.
All right. Do you want to? So Pyre will steer the USS Mandrake.
Yes,
Who's
and
going to?
I've sent the original pilot, Angry Seal, down below decks to clean up. No, short for Celia. She's
No, I think that's an actual angry seal dressed
Well,
up like a pirate.
I shortened
picturing
it.
Seal
I
the
shortened it
singer.
from Celia to Seal because of the way her species looks like a seal.
Yes.
But I have now sent her below decks to clean out my bed for me because I was eating in there last night, and she's pretty pissed off. Yeah, Seal.
I hire robots.
Yes. And Puff, are you steering the Terpsichore Vaunt then?
Yes.
Or do you want to hand
it's-
control to
it's-
somebody else? It's
it's
Davis, but it's really you. So who's
Oh, it's
gonna?
me then. Okay, it is me, and it's instructed to overtake and.
So that's the question. Do you want to keep pace or do you want to overtake? Pyre and Puff, let me know, because
Its instruction is to reduce the speed of the yacht by getting in front of it and slowing down.
okay, so that's overtake. Okay, so Puff, go ahead and roll against an 8. Pyre, you actually have the helm, so you can pick.
Yeah.
Do you want to overtake or do you want to keep pace with the Beast of Briar?
I want to try and catch up with the Beast of Briar, so I guess
Okay.
overtake.
Yes, roll an 8 for overtake then. Roll against an 8.
Oh my god. Yeah. Nope.
What you get, Puff?
A 1.
A 1. Pyre, what did you get?
I got a 9.
Hey!
My super fast ship is not very fast apparently.
Nice. Okay. So let's resolve this really quickly. You put down a peril for Puff, please.
Yeah, I got it.
So, Puff, you send through the direction to Davis, and he does you another little salute, and vroom, off into the void. But as he pulls up with, you can see this happening. He's just, you know what? Androids just aren't as good at piloting as sentient mortals, lack of a better word. And you can see just from where you are on the Mandrake, the ship, not the cyborg. You can see in the window it is going to be Giselle standing on deck, and you can just picture her as she pulls up the spell in her hands and boom, fires and hits the Terpsichore Vaunt straight in the starboard engine. And it like it's had a bird strike and just and goes spiraling off into space. It's still extant, it still exists, it's still there, but it is
legitimate salvage.
It is.
Yeah.
Twilexis
You
says
touched
that
my
out
ship.
loud.
You're gonna owe me something.
But that's all you see as the USS Mandrake vroom, accelerates. All of you, except for Pyre, rock back on your heels.
As I watch that, can I turn to Pyre and be like, "Are you looking for a job?"
This is why you need a real pilot and not a metal pilot.
Yes.
Pilot.
That is yes, that is exactly
Yes,
what
really
I mean.
the anti-android sentiment is what we're trying to get across in this story. As you go vroom, straight through, you just see in your mind the twists and coils of the beast, and you cut straight through the spaces that he was in before the spaces before one of those massive coils flattens through it, and you pull up, and you are now, as the space yacht has fallen behind, you are now in front of the beast of Briar. And you guys all have a split second where you all, being experienced spacefarers, see what the choice is before you. In this moment where you are in front of him, you can choose to drive the beast of Briar. There are 3 ways you can go. There is an asteroid field to the port side. There is the open space of the nebulous gas clouds in front of you that you can let him go towards. And there is a planet. There is an occupied planet that you are currently passing that you could probably force the beast down onto if you wanted to fight it on the ground. But you do see that there are cities and lights below.
Planet.
So really quickly,
Planet.
everybody go ahead. Yes.
I was going to say asteroids.
No,
We're not.
Asteroids, obviously. We're more mobile.
the asteroids
We're not
just
trying
give
to
it
lose
cover. We're trying to shoot at it. The asteroids just give it cover. If we send it, it's a space-borne creature. If we send it flying into an atmosphere, maybe it'll die.
Or
Or
it'll be
Russian
accessible.
Or it'll turn back into a fox. I don't know.
Okay.
So this brings up an interesting question. How did you guys make decisions when you were a part of a pirate crew?
We had a captain, and it wasn't any
We
of
had
us.
a captain.
I mean, clearly everybody looked to me for ultimate advice and trusted me to give them good advice.
While they're talking about that, I have turned to the rest of my crew and instructed them to drive the the beast towards the planet, because I have just realized, you guys made me forget for a second, but I've just realized that for a long time I have been the captain.
Well, that is an interesting question because Pyre is at the helm. So if you're going to order your crew to do that, somebody's going to have to dislodge Pyre from
Guys,
the
go
helm.
get Seal.
So, so that's the question. Like, do you want to force this into a conflict between you and Pyre? Because you can.
Listen,
Or
we
Pyre.
don't want to give the creature cover or anywhere to hide.
I just feel like you guys are trying to crush this metropolis for fun, and I'm not into that anymore. It's like
Wait.
an scene.
What metropolis?
The cities and whatnot on the planet below.
Why you
planet is
always gotta
coveted.
bring morals and ethics up? It's just a big thing in space that we might be able to crash the monster into.
Take it down on an inhabited island or into the
mean,
water.
Well, let's do this. We are going to steer this ship into this whatchamathingy into the planet.
Right. But hopefully we can harpoon it before it... We'll see what happens, yeah. We don't want it to get away.
I'm stronger on the ground.
I'm stronger not murdering innocents, but like
Avoid the
Mandrake,
city.
I guess you do.
There's
have
a really
sounds
good
like-
chance that a lot of the people it lands on won't be innocents.
Fair point. Also, I'm gonna go ahead and yield to your expertise as a opulent whalist.
Yes! That's what they call me.
I think I
Sorry,
saw a
Pierre.
band last year, the Opulent Whalists. All right. So it sounds like you guys are all agreed that you're going to the planet.
Yes,
So-
we'll crash the beast into that prison planet down there full of murderers and people who talk in movie theaters.
All right. Let me go ahead then and
Can we-
Pyre, you are still. I'm going to give you a choice actually. Pyre, you can hold on to the helm and do it yourself, or Angry Seal has her way back onto the deck. You can hand it over to Mandrake and let him let her roll,
now
and
that-
Mandrake will roll on her behalf.
Now that we're agreed, I'm going to send Seal back down below decks and let
Yes.
Pier.
So this is going to be another. This is going to be another daring move in order to force the creature down to the planet. So go ahead and give me a daring roll against a task of 6.
6.
Yay!
All right.
You.
It's not pretty, but it's going to get the job done.
Watch the paint!
Yes, you do manage to, by the skin of your teeth, you manage to avoid smashing the ship straight into, the teeth of the Beast of Briar. But you do successfully turn its head, and it shrieks and it goes spinning and spiraling down towards the lights of the planet below, and you all follow. So
We crashed into its teeth.
you barely missed its teeth. You went straight across the bow, or its
So
nose.
This,
We
this
missed
is
it.
very
big
important.
is this thing compared to the
Yes,
ship?
it has big, those little needle-sharp teeth that the fox had. Now they are enormous needle-sharp teeth, the size of whale tusks. No, whales don't have tusks.
Not
Sorry.
at all.
Sure.
Well, whale tusks, like you have in space, obviously.
Yeah,
Space
I've got a
whales have.
couple of them on my
Yeah.
wall. This is very important. If we are within blasting distance of the teeth,
Yeah.
I need to get one.
Yes. Well, would you like to go ahead? Take a shot. It's a 6.
Can I do that with vicious?
Yes, it would definitely be vicious.
I missed.
Okay. As you guys slide past Mandrake, you see those teeth gleaming and just that pure.
Point of note.
Yeah.
I have just rolled below my peril rating.
Okay.
I am in danger. So
You sure
here's
are.
what I tried to do.
Please
right?
tell me. Go ahead, narrate this.
I see these teeth go by, glinting and just begging to be made into some sort of giant sword or something. And so I grab a rope and I'm going to leap off my ship and pull my giant sonic blaster out and try to just blow one of its teeth off as I fly through space, anchored only with my cybernetic left hand to the rope. But of course it all goes horribly wrong because the teeth are not damaged by the blast, and the gun flies out of my hand, and all of my momentum is arrested, and the rope breaks.
And you go sailing into the dark of space again. So close, so dangerously close, both to the atmosphere of the planet and to the creature coming past. A quick rules reminder for everybody. At this point, Mandrake is in danger. He is unable to take any action unless one of you gives up an action, basically for a turn, to go and rescue him. That said, your peril will remain at 4. Rescuing him does not remove your peril. Your peril remains until and unless you sacrifice one of your 2 touchstones to wipe you down to 0. Go ahead, Trilexis. Question.
Was I supposed to start with a number in my peril box?
No, everybody starts at 0. You gain a peril for every roll that you fail.
The crystals here.
Yes, we've been
Okay,
keeping track of
But
it.
how do you know? How did you fall underneath your peril number?
Because you roll underneath it. So the same time you roll to complete a task, I assume you rolled like a 3 or a 2.
I rolled a 1,
Okay,
and
there
I
you
have
go.
a 4 peril,
Yes,
so I'm under it.
yes.
Every
Tying
time,
it is okay though, right?
every
Yes, a
time you
tie is
fail,
okay.
every time you
Okay.
fail a roll, your peril goes up by 1.
Yes.
And since
Okay.
I failed literally every roll tonight,
Yes, you have.
yeah, I just rolled under my peril number, inevitably.
Yes, and you go sailing off into the void of space.
Yeah.
Would anybody like to rescue him?
Yes. I'm gonna grab that net that I was gonna use earlier.
Yes.
I'm gonna grab the harpoon from one of the harpoon guns
Mm-hmm.
and kick the trigger to
Yes.
launch me out at him. With the net in the other hand, that's tied off to the ship. I would, via rope, and I'm gonna try to grab him with the net, and we'd both be hopefully pulled back by one of our friends.
All right, I'm going to give that a task of 4. Go ahead and roll for it.
For what?
A
Vicious or
task
daring?
number of 4. I'd say daring. Definitely daring.
Damn it! It's always daring.
Sorry. I'll try to get some more vicious. You can always,
8.
if you... There you go. You
I'm
easily
fine
make
with
that.
that.
Grab Mandrake for the 2nd time in an hour. You are
Well, that's
dramatically
It's so
rescued. A hand,
Twilight
an arm
really-
snakes around your waist. And... and your loyal crew tows you back in.
And as we head towards the ship, I am somehow going to say in the vacuum of space, I have extra eyes in my quarters if you want one.
That would be nice. Do you have any in purple?
Oh,
Yeah, several.
Also, you do smell nice.
Thank you. I had that installed.
And as you are still 20 feet out from your ship, the space yacht containing your rivals zing overhead.
I hate it when they zing.
And we're going to say, who's going to do something? Serratio leans out the portcullis.
Porthole?
Sure.
The window.
porthole. Portcullises are on castles.
The space window.
And he yells to you, Twilexis, I'm gonna take that beast, and then I'm taking my ship back. And he is going to fire his space bow, his space crossbow, at the mast. You know what? He's going to shoot it at your sails. So I'm going to say, who would like to come up with a way to block Serratio's shot from hitting the sails?
Okay. I am going to
What
try.
is he firing?
He is firing
being
his
rescued.
space crossbow, which of course is a crossbow that fires an itty bitty tiny black hole that will create a hole the size of, say, a bullet hole in what it hits, which would be enough to slow you guys down if it hits the sails.
I want to
'cause-
just try and quick draw him and shoot him before he can shoot the sail.
Okay.
I kind of want to try to cut the black hole with my special laser sword before it reaches. That-
Yes. I'm gonna say you guys can both do that. Mandrake, he did get off the shot, but you can take a shot at him. It's going to be a, it's gonna be a 4 to hit, I'll say. Twilexis, it's going to be you wanted to hit the black hole before it hits? With
I
your
want to
sword?
slice the path.
Yes.
I have a really complex sword that like cuts through space time.
Yes, that's going to be an 8.
8. Okay.
Mhm.
With
Cutting through a black
Vicious
hole
and
with an
daring.
energy space-time sword
Yes.
is probably the most epic thing I've ever heard.
Hell yeah, it is.
Except for the fact that I have just passed a roll.
Woo!
I shot him in the head. I don't like him. He shot at my
That's it.
ship.
I also got an 8. So
Hey! Nice.
Okay, so not only does his black hole bullet get cut in half, he also gets shot in the head.
I kind
All
of
right. Well, it's not in the head.
Well, I mean, he can
But
live
you
through
get
it if he
shot. You
wants.
shoot him.
He's leaning out a window. I don't know what else I could have shot.
The shoulder. Everybody gets
Okay.
shot in the shoulder.
Okay.
Yeah, like do not
Eh,
kill Horatio. I've got plans for that boy.
well, as soon as I shoot him in the shoulder, I realize that he is, in fact, an action hero as well. Because otherwise I obviously would have hit him in the head.
Yes, definitely.
And now I'm worried.
Yes.
Plot armor.
Yes.
He's an action hero, so bullets just automatically miss.
Dude, watch the
bullet goes
Die
like
Hard series and count how many
into
times
the-
Bruce Willis takes one in the shoulder.
Right
over and
at
over.
the
Yep.
head and then at the last minute. Do you guys want to narrate what that looks like, either one of you, or do you want to? We'll keep going.
Yeah.
But yes, you successfully. You do not lose any time having successfully held him off. The whaling ship and the yacht are bow and bow as you head down towards the planet's surface, and you hit the atmosphere right there.
All right, that was the atmosphere.
Alrighty. As you pierce through the atmosphere, you see, let's see, who should go next? Castor is, you see him look over, and he is sitting hunched on the deck, focused entirely on his typewriter. And Pyre, you see, as he is frantically typing up his notes on what is happening, as he frequently does, you actually see that he is still on the deck as you're coming into the atmosphere, and he is in danger of getting knocked straight off the ship. You see that rigging start to swing around towards him. What do you do, Pyre?
Oh. I'm going to be really stupid, and I'm going to relinquish my post, bolt for the nearest bit of rigging to swing off of, and just try to like, we're like bow and bow.
Yep.
So I'm going to try and swing over, catch him up, and swing him back to our ship.
Nice. I am going to... I will let you do daring for that. I was going to say handsome, but I think that's definitely a daring to be swooping people up. And that is going to be... I'm going to have you actually do... I'll give you a choice. You can either roll twice for a challenge of 6 to separate this into 2 moves, which is swinging across successfully and grabbing Castor successfully, or you can do 1 roll of 9 to do the whole move all in one.
Is it possible for him to swing over unsuccessfully but still rescue him?
Yes.
Gotta be a twofer.
Really? Yeah, you know what? Go crazy or go broke. We're going for that 9.
All right,
That's
do
what
it.
I always say.
Yeah.
Fucking kidding me.
What you got?
Oh, here we go.
Can't see it.
I can't see.
Freaking see, can you see that?
No.
little bit high.
No, I'm moving it around.
Big
Right.
closer.
Oh!
It's a 10!
It's a 10!
Yeah,
How are you rolling this well?
I don't know.
It is.
It's gonna come back and bite me in the butt just at some point.
Yeah.
Rolls.
We
Epic.
cut over to Castor, oblivious as this rigging starts moving towards him. And out of nowhere, he hears the distant, like, I'm coming, Castor! And you swoop in like Batman. In this perfect arc, you swoop him up into your arms. And he shrieks and grabs you around the neck as you successfully carry him off back to the deck
Of the
USS Mandrake. Hopefully at the exact same moment that Puff lands on the deck carrying Mandrake. And you both land in unison on your feet with your respective passengers in your arms at long last as you hit the atmosphere and just all the colors flare red and gold around you. And Castor looks up at you and goes, I'm still mad at you.
Yes, I know. I know, babe.
I'm gonna march like down the ship from what is it, stern to bow, and as I'm sure every eye on the ship is on my two companions, I'm just gonna start saying, "You see, guys, I told you this is what a real crew is like. You ever want to be legendary like the crew that served under Captain Balthazar? Live up to these two." And then I'm going to get up to Twilexis. I'm going to be like...
I'm going to give an awkward wave.
Yeah. I'm going to get up to Twilexis and be like, when the fuck did these two get so awesome?
Honestly, I think it was like this week.
They were always super lousy at stuff like that, right?
They were.
Yeah.
Fire literally once steered us into an entire plan on accident.
Yeah.
This time he did it on purpose.
Maybe we're just playing to his strengths today.
And as you have this conversation, you break through the atmosphere at last into the clear air of the planet below. The bubbles around your ships that are protecting you from, that enable you to stand on the deck of a ship and have air, go down as you are in breathable oxygen, and the dragon is flying, not plummeting. It is in a nosedive straight towards the bright lights of a city below. And the space yacht is going to pull ahead and start firing. And so is there anything you would like to do as it does that? It fires and seems to, you see that Sinestra has her overly elaborate giant bazooka space gun that she always manages to pull out of absolutely nowhere. You have no idea where she hides it. Just, it's one of those things where, like, you turn around and doesn't have it. You turn back around and suddenly there's like a thing the size of a whale tusk on her shoulder, and she is firing, and the dragon shrieks and kind of veers off, but it's still extant. It's still going. What do you guys want to do?
I want to shoot that. I want to shoot her gun.
Well, hold on a
With my
second.
gun.
I have something.
You've got skills, Mandrake. Of course you have skills.
No, I have knowledge.
Who is normally our tactician? Like who is?
I have
the
knowledge
guy?
of that weapon. You see, Sinestra and I have some history, and she once told me in a private moment the exact specifications of that weapon and how exactly you can disable it from a distance. And I know that if I do this, that she will be lost to me forever because it's a betrayal from which our relationship could never recover.
Yep.
And yet, I have it ready. And I pull out this little device that I've been carrying in my pocket for years now.
Yep.
And I just go, boop. And her bazooka just falls apart.
It just collapses into the individual pieces. And they clatter to the deck. And she gasps. And she looks over at you.
And for the first time all day, I am neither smirking nor smiling nor posing. I'm just like... And that will clear my peril rating.
It will. That does clear your peril rating.
Wait, what?
While he's done
He has
that,
sacrificed one of his touchstones to clear his peril. Yes, go ahead, Twilexis.
I do, remember that we were crewmates for so long, and this was clearly a big sacrifice for him, and it's an emotional moment. So as soon as he touches that button, I reach up and just set my hand on his face for a little too long. But I wanted to let go of it.
Puff is watching this and is like watching Twilexis longingly and definitely feels a little jealous.
Yeah, it's for me. It's like I appreciate, like I accept it for what it is at first, and then it's too much. It's like going too long, and I'm just like leaning away from it and just starting to pose again, almost involuntarily. Posing.
Yeah, I move on like nothing happened.
Yes.
And I am commanding my crew now. Because remember, the ship that we're on does not just have cannons, it has harpoons.
That's
I'm
right.
excited about harpoons.
Yes.
I want them to try and harpoon the beast so that we stick to it.
All right, go ahead, and I'm going to actually say that this is time for everybody to go ahead and... Because now we're getting into, the battle. And
Can
if
I
you
do
want
something?
to go... Yes, let me give Puff a chance to go first since you just did something.
Okay.
Sorry,
but yes,
it's
go ahead.
slightly different from what you guys are all about to do. So, so I see this. I see Twilexis do that, and get incredibly jealous because I'm a simple creature, and decide to go after Giselle, and I'm gonna kick some of the crew away from a harpoon gun and try to launch myself at the yacht and confront those people on their yacht.
All right. Go ahead then, and that's going to be, since you are plummeting down towards a planet, that's going to be a 6 to ride a harpoon successfully across to the space yacht. And that'll be... I'm gonna. If you want to do a handsome instead of a daring, you can.
No, my daring is better than my handsome. I'm a creature of. As far as werewolves go, I'm the best looking werewolf.
Okay.
But as far as like the rest of you guys go, I'm probably just a monster or a creature, like a big dog.
No, your wings are beautiful.
Can I give him
7?
Oh, never mind.
Sorry.
I was just going to try and help you, but I think you won.
How are you guys rolling so good? Everybody except Steve is getting every roll.
I took the hit for everyone at the beginning.
He did. And he has an ability
you
to
guys
clear
really
his
are
things, apparently.
beautiful
we all have
space
that.
pirates. Except for
We are
Mandrake.
very beautiful.
He's
Who's
an
supposed to be the most
unlucky,
beautiful of us all?
space
I'm just the
pirate.
flashiest.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's the one who has the ship. All right. And so, yeah, Puff, you leap onto that harpoon. Do you want to narrate what this looks like, or do you want me to do it?
Yeah.
As you go sailing through the air.
You can narrate it. The only thing I'm going to add is that my robes are like flapping in the wind all cool while I do it.
Are you standing on the harpoon or sitting on it?
No, it's more like holding on to it because it's flying at an incredible
so it's
speed.
like Thor holding his hammer. Like you
Yes,
fire it and you
exactly.
are just like in pose, like, and it just through the air.
And then
Yeah.
And then in the hand that's not holding it, I'm gonna like reveal my claws, which each have a ring on it,
Yeah.
and those rings create energy claws that are like almost a foot long each.
Oh yeah, and you sail through the air, and you actually start to go past the ship, and it looks like you're gonna miss, and you see Giselle go, nah, and just as she does, taking a picture.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was. Never mind. Don't worry about it.
And just as she does, you sink those claws into the yacht and let the harpoon go off into the distance, and
Sick.
and pull yourself up in a properly beautiful swashbuckling space pirate manner. And so now at this point, Castor is on the Mandrake, and Puff is now with the other crew on their space yacht. The
What
name
the
of which
fuck?
How do we know who wins?
We'll sort it out, but that's weird.
All right. So can we
Okay.
do the harpooning now?
Yes, please go ahead
Yeah.
with the harpooning.
Okay. Just roll vicious. We don't do anything
Roll
to
vicious.
that.
Yes.
6.
Oh, no.
6.
Are we all rolling vicious?
If you guys want to man the harpoons, yeah.
Yes.
I
Everybody
rolled a 6.
can roll, and I'm going to tell you right now, this is a task of 12.
A task of 12.
Yes, this is the impossible task.
I only have a 6.
Roll your vicious to attack.
Guys, if we
Yeah.
fail, each time we fail, the task number lowers.
Yes. So
Yeah,
this is
so
the
you're
first
still
time I'm
doing
using the
damage.
mechanic.
Okay,
I can
but
fight
if I
with
fail,
force.
don't I get a peril?
That's right. You're going to have to take peril in order to kill this beast.
Okay, give me a peril. Because I,
We all get one. There's no way to pass a roll. of
Okay.
12.
So,
Yeah.
Pyre, did you fire as well?
With a 3.
Yes. Pyre, Twilexis, Mandrake, as Puff goes sailing off on his own quest, the three of you man the harpoons. Pyre, you have to kind of peel Castor off of you, who is madly trying to like hate make out with you, hate kiss you. But you swing him to the side and you do it anyway. And all three of you fire those harpoons. Here's a question. Are they connected to the ship? Is this like tethering you guys to, or are they just like weapons? To
The
damage
tethers
it?
are like giant laser chains.
Yes.
But if we miss, they just get pulled back in.
Well, all three of you, wait, you got a 6. Twilexis, what did you get?
oh, I got a 1.
And Pyre, you got a what?
You get a
3.
A 3? Okay, I'm going to say all three of you hit. Pyre and Twilexis, yours skims across and doesn't catch purchase, but yours does. It sinks into the Beast of Briar and Jinjunk catches and holds.
Okay.
And the task number has now dropped down to 9 because you have all done damage to it. But your ship is now tethered to the beast, and
Yes.
immediately the ship starts rocking wildly as the beast writhes and screams on the end of the chain.
And I look over and see that Pyrite has abandoned the steering wheel. And here comes Angry Seal running back up.
This is her moment.
And she's going to
Yes.
try and right the ship, I imagine.
She is.
Angry
And
Seal sounds like a pub.
yes, it's where I saw opulent whalers.
Whalers. Opulent whalers.
I think we just need to do it again.
All right. And
Yeah.
Puff, meanwhile, you are going to turn around and face. You find yourself facing Sinestra, Giselle, and Ceratio.
My goal is to head to the bridge, obviously. So yeah,
Yes.
if I have to go through them, I will.
Well, Giselle is standing between you and the bridge. Sinestra just looks to her and says, "Take care of this." And she and Castor are going to fire as well. They are going to...
Castor?
Wait,
Sorry, excuse me,
Castor's
not
on-
Castor, Horatio.
Wait.
My mistake.
Detail.
And so they are both... well, actually, before, they are both going to take positions. And you see, Puff, that this space yacht is equipped with the very latest in space lasers, shotguns, and they, giant space laser shotguns, like you do. You have Giselle between you and Horatio and Sinestra. The beast of Briar is a sitting duck right now, tethered as it is, and they might even hit the USS Mandrake. What do you want to do right now?
First, I'm going to say to Giselle, you took my eye, but most importantly, you took my heart. And I'm going to, create my claws, or, ignite my claws and, get out of my way and let me have this ship. You owe me.
And she takes in a deep breath and says, everything I did to you, you had coming. You say that I took your heart and your eye. It was a heart for a heart. Don't blame me for getting the better end of the bargain, darling. And she is going to pull up her...
Just trying to do the math. Go on.
Yes. Yes. To clarify, yes, both of you guys took each other's hearts, but everybody's
Puff's
down
heart
a
was
heart,
better.
but Puff's down an eye, and Giselle still has both of her eyes, it looks
Got
like.
it. I thought that Puff's heart was worth more than her heart.
Yeah. Well, you can argue that with him later. But in the meantime, she pulls up her hands and brings them together. Puff, you can have a choice. You can attack her with Vicious, or you can try to win her over with Handsome.
Ooh.
Do it. Do it.
I will tell you that it's going to be to attack her with Vicious is going to be an 8, and to win her over with Handsome is going to be a 4.
Literally equally as difficult.
Exactly, yes.
He's a big softy inside. He's gonna retract his laser claws and stand up, go from a bestial attacking posture to standing up like a gentleman again.
Mm-hmm.
We could still make this work. I have more money than this guy can even offer.
All
and
right.
I have a place where you could be warm. Anyway, I'm gonna roll. Shit, it was a 5, but it's leaning. Should I re-roll it, or can I take the 5?
I'll let you take the 5.
Okay.
And you see, even through the sparkly symbols and sigils that are between the two of you, you see her melt a little bit. And she says, a place that is warm. I've been so cold for so long. And she is going to drop, and she's going to take out Sinestra's. She's going to fire her energy blast at Sinestra's cannon.
Wow.
And it is going to just go in a explosion of sparks. But Horatio is still going to get his shot off. And he misses. He misses entirely, distracted as he is.
Yeah, say not unusual for Horatio to miss a shot.
There's a lot of emotion going on over there.
There really is. There's
Yep.
a lot.
Understandable.
There's a lot going on over here too, but I'm not showing it.
Before we go back to them,
Yes.
seeing that pup is gonna just go and like pick her up in his arms and hold her tight in the wind.
And her beautiful, expensive mage robes flap, as well do your beautiful, expensive robes, in a harmonious merging of jewel tones.
Robes.
And, yes.
Those
Until
robes.
yes,
He's a soft-hearted beast. Okay,
you are.
you guys can go
Heart
now.
of gold. That's probably
Mainly
why
'cause-
Giselle tried to steal it from you.
Yes.
Let's cut back to the USS Mandrake. You guys are
Here,
in
you guys,
a...
but I have to use the bathroom.
Okay. Somebody has got to pull the ship out of its death spiral as it's getting pulled by the Beast of Briar. And that's going to be a daring check of 10. And then somebody's got to keep firing at the Beast of Briar. So...
I need to keep
I'm
firing.
good for either of these.
Sorry, say that again, Carissa? I didn't catch what you said.
I can't win either of those rolls based
Nope.
on my... Okay.
Yeah.
If you have something else you would like to do, you can do it. But those are the two actions that are the most urgent in front of you.
I
am oddly concerned about the crystal horse.
was just thinking about him.
Yeah, he disappeared.
He disappeared. I had hoped that I could ride him down the dock about 2 hours ago, but I didn't jump in, and now I'm worried he got sucked into the vacuum of space, or did he time portal, and is he still just time portaling elsewhere?
Well, you can reflect on him, and as you do, as your thoughts turn to your crystalline friend, Kinesthelysian, he is summoned once again, and there's another gentle chime and a bullering of the air. Excuse me. As he comes out from, you see a shimmer of like a beautiful Elysian field behind him of green grass and blue skies. And he comes out as a gallop and he says, "My friends, you have some..." As he's pulled onto this spiraling ship.
And I hear the chimes, and I'm going to turn and yell, "Kinesthelysian, can you take the wheel?"
I understood that right. And he yells, "No, I'm a horse!
Save my ship!"
Would he not yell nay?
Would he not yell nay? Twilexis has summoned Kinesthelysian. Mandrake is shouting to the horse to save you. Pyre, what are you doing?
Oh, we need to get this ship righted.
Yes.
So I'm going to dash back to the helm.
Yep.
And attempt to right this ship.
Roll a daring for me against a check of 10.
So it's in my name.
Yep.
This needs to get righted. 3.
3. All right. You grab the helm and hang on for dear life. You do not manage to pull the ship out. In fact, the helm, which is of course an old-fashioned wheel, spins and whacks you across the face, and everything goes kind of black and hazy for a second, and you find yourself on the floor somehow without remembering how you got there, in the arms of Castor, who is shouting, who's slapping you hard on the face, saying, "Speak to me, darling! Wake up!" And we're going to cut back over to the space yacht.
I'm going to be right back.
Yes.
I never actually got my shot off, though.
No, you were engaging with Kinesthelysian.
Just yelling that caused my action?
Do you want to try? You were asking him to save you, and he was saying no.
Yeah.
I will let you get... if you guys want to, I will let you take a shot. Since Kinesthelysian didn't actually do anything.
Yeah, I did not. If I had known that it would cost my action just to say something, I would not have done that.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
All right.
Twilexis, I'll let you take a shot too.
It's a 10.
It's a 10. All right.
Ooh.
Nice.
I can't take a shot until it gets easier because otherwise I'm just collecting peril.
All right. So you pass, but that is okay because Mandrake, fortified by the appearance of Kinnis the Legion, and with an assist from Pyre.
Momentarily righting the ship.
Yes,
just
momentarily
for a second.
righting the ship. You do sink your harpoon square into the heart of the beast of Briar. You see the dragon scream as the harpoon strikes him squarely in the chest, and then go limp and fall, caught in this planet's gravity. Still dragging, I might add, the USS Mandrake down with it.
And I'm going to yell back to Pyre to please try and steer this thing into an empty place somewhere on this planet.
Oh, now you care about crushing people.
Can I?
Well, it will make it a
Can I
lot
try to
easier.
All right, hold that thought.
if I
Now
can
it's
take
time to
the
cut
yacht-
back to Puff. Yes.
Well, first question is, if I can take the yacht, can I steer it into a position to help lift the ship and give it an extra boost against crash or against the falling dragon?
I will put a pin in that. That's certainly an excellent idea, and I will let you try it. But first, you have to take the yacht, and you are currently with Giselle on your arm, and you find yourself facing down Sinestra and Ceratio, and Sinestra is watching the dragon plummet down to the surface below, towing the USS Mandrake behind it. And she whispers, "Well, it seems the beast has been defeated. Now the question, who's going to tell Jim the Lawbot that it was you if you don't survive?" And she spins around, and she is going to aim her, what did I say she had? Her overly elaborate cannon has been destroyed, so she is going to draw her laser rapier and
Great.
go at you, Puff. Puff, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna move Giselle behind me and draw my claws. Though I'm sure Giselle would actually do better than I do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna go at her like a rabid wolf.
All right, roll me a vicious against 10.
Wow, I have to literally get a 10
Yes.
out of 10.
This might also be a good time for me to use my once per session power.
Well, no, let's let Puff finish what he's doing
After.
before you jump
Okay.
in. Yes.
Oh, actually, I want to use my once per scene, which is to know the NPC's fear.
I don't know that that's going to give you a higher.
It doesn't. It gives you
Oh,
a
I
D6.
see. You roll another d6, and you can use the higher dice.
Oh, well, the D6 wouldn't help anyway.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
What was your once in a find an
It's
unattended vessel?
unattended vessel, but that hasn't come up, so no reason to use it. Okay. Two.
Okay. You, as you push Giselle behind you, drawing your claws, and that movement to defend another allows Sinestra to slip below your guard and slash you straight across the ribs. Not a deadly slash by any means, but it definitely does you damage. You manage to deflect the worst of it. And you are both up on your feet, and you are having...
A peril.
You are adding a peril, but it is enough as well to knock Sinestra back a step. And she snarls at you, her usually tightly controlled face clenching in fury. And you see that you have upset her, and her task number drops by 1 to 9. She is emotionally unbalanced at this point. All right. So we were going to cut back. Twilexis, you wanted to go ahead and do something. Really quickly, just to summarize, the ship is still falling. You can still save it. Your check is now a 9 to get control of the ship, either by cutting the rope or getting a hold of the helm. And the 3 of you can go ahead, but Twilexis, you wanted to do something.
Yeah, I wanted to declare an NPC madly in love with me.
Yes. Go for it.
So, an NPC is madly in love with me. Do I get to choose which one?
Yes, you do. Yes, you can determine the manner in which you want to do that. Like, how that helps you to get out of this scene.
It is Horatio, and he decides to help Puff use the other ship to assist us. So rather than Sinestra versus Puff, now it with Giselle now it's like 3 against Sinestra.
Nice. All right, I'm gonna say that to activate this, you can go ahead and roll a D.
10, I'm hoping.
Yes, you can roll your D10, but also roll a D6 to so you can take the higher number against a handsome check of, I'll say, 5 to convince Horatio as you shout across the gap between them. You're like, what do you say to convince? Well, actually, roll first. Your D10 and your D6, and then we'll see what you say. If we see if you succeed or not.
Okay, I rolled the wrong dice, but my 6 was a 2.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna roll my D10 now because I rolled my. Oh no, it's a 2 and a 1.
Oh, what do you shout out to Horatio, or what do you do to try to turn Horatio to your side?
I put on my most charming face and I perk my ears up and I just turn around and I say in a very winsome voice, this is the voice that got Horatio's attention in the first place when I first chose him out as a mark, and that didn't go anywhere, but it was that shtick, and I'm just like, yoo-hoo, Horatio! Kind of forgetting that he knows me, because this works on everybody.
It's your default. Yeah, it works so well. It worked so well in the past. Yes.
So that's what I do, and I'm holding on with one hand, and I've got my space-time sword like strapped to my back, and a chain. I don't know. I've got all kinds of nonsense, and I wave and I say that, and no dice.
No dice. Go ahead and add a peril to Twilexis. And Horatio's face hardens. It's like, they can't be trusted. And he is actually going to draw his knife, and he is going to swing across the rigging, grab the rigging with his other hand, and he is swinging over towards you with murder in his eyes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You who, Twilexis?
Yes, to Twilexis.
Okay, well, I mean, you still helped. Now I have to fight one person.
Yes. So you did, in fact, reduce, the number of people by 1. Okay, so that's Twilexis. Who else? Pyre and Mandrake, what would you like to do next? You have an incoming enemy in the form of Horatio. You have a crashing ship. And you have a and you have Puff on the other space yacht taking fire from Sinestra. Go ahead, Pyre.
I'm just curious, like in the heat of the moment, in relation to game mechanics, can I tell about how long we have till we hit the ground?
I would say probably until the moment that it's oh gosh, dramatically convenient for me.
I don't have to know.
Yeah.
I'm just
You're just so dizzy and confused. It's hard to tell where the ground is.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna try something kind of stupid here, because that seems to be working for me tonight.
Okay.
So as Castor's smacking me back awake, a voice crackles over my like personal comm device. Spoilers, I'm pulling in my once per session of finding a friendly NPC in a useful position.
Yes.
And it's a woman's voice, and she says, "Pyre, is that you? Is that you up there?" And it's Lucy Windvane.
Of course, Lucy
Wizard.
Windvane. The weather what?
Weather wizard.
Nice.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, love it.
What is going on? And I reply to her, "Oh my god, like Lucy. Oh yes, you live on this planet." I'm kind of nervous because Lucy is another ex, not one that I parted more amicably with her than Castor. But I'm kind of nervous now because Castor's right here.
Yes.
But I say to her, "Lucy, we're out of control. I need help. Can you help us, like, with your weather powers, with your weather wizardry?
Yes.
Help us regain control of our ship, because she's in the city
of course.
below."
Yes.
Which would give me another D10 for making this check.
Yes, it would.
Okay.
And so go ahead. You can roll 2 D10s because this is going to be daring and daring.
So first D10, 5. Second D10, that just was on its side.
Roll one more time.
All right, 7.
Okay. We're going to add a peril. The gale comes up, and Lucy is trying her hardest. She really is. But unfortunately, it is just not quite enough. She manages to slow your descent a little bit, but ultimately, it's not really the weather that is pulling you guys in. It is the falling dragon. And she says, "A dragon's not weather. I'm sorry. I'm still here if you need me." And so it is now an 8 to get control of the ship. And Mandrake, you haven't done anything yet. What would you like to do?
Well, you see, I've heard of Lucy Windvane before.
Of course.
And I know what apparently Pyrite doesn't know.
Yes.
She doesn't know magic.
Oh dear. Uh-huh.
She uses advanced technology to affect the weather.
Okay.
Technology like that hovering weather control station directly ahead of us.
Oh, yes, of course.
And all of the apparatus hanging down from it
Uh-huh.
in
Like
crystal
the
formations
Cloud
pointing
City,
down
yeah.
at the city
Uh-huh.
very much resembles, as I look at it, a gigantic chandelier.
Heck yeah.
And I will... Every harpoon that is not currently embedded in the dragon is now going to aim up at the chandelier to catch the ship.
Yeah. So you're going to roll a D8 and a D6.
Yep.
And take the higher.
Take the higher?
Yep.
Yeah, take the higher. Okay.
And it's still an 8, though. And I will let you have...
It's okay. I
Yes.
got an 8.
Woohoo! All right.
So the ship, just all these harpoons shoot up and catch onto this gigantic chandelier in the sky. And there is our whaling ship with a dragon hanging from it, just like this.
Like a
in the
cradle,
air,
rocking back and forth.
gradually coming to a stop.
This is some amazing hardware you have on these harpoons. Like, attached, like the harpoon to their line to the launcher to the deck, holding all of this, like, amazing. Just, you've really invested in this ship, Mandrake, I can tell.
I appreciate you saying that. And I want you to know, when you leave here, there's a harpoon gun for everyone.
All right. Puff, let's cut back to you. You have Giselle behind you. You have Sinestra in front of you. Her rapier out. And the space lasers
Watch out,
glimmering.
that thing's
glimmering
Yeah.
on the handle. The elaborate, ornate, filigreed handle. What would you like to
So-
do?
Puff looks down at the wound on his chest and like puts his hand against it and looks at, assesses the wound to make sure it wasn't deadly, which he's still standing, so it's not, I guess. And he looks back up at her, and he draws a shotgun and fires it at her.
Nice. Go ahead and roll me a vicious. Against her 9. She's currently at a 9.
Was it? It was 9. You're right.
It was 10, yeah, and you brought her down 1, so now she's at 9.
3.
You fire, and she manages to deflect most of it. She takes a little damage, and now she's got
Man, she is good.
Yes. You've done a little bit of damage to her. She's like, my turn. And she lunges at you, and you avoid the blade this time with your claws, but the space laser fires out of the handle and boom, across your vision, blinds you for a second, and it hits you in the shoulder, of course. And you're going to take another peril. If you would add a peril. How many did you say that was? 3?
That was 3.
A 3. Okay. So your peril grows. Back to the USS Mandrake. As
Wait,
you
are
can...
we still plummeting too, or are we?
No,
we,
you are. From the USS Mandrake, now that there is nobody at the wheel of the yacht, you guys see the space yacht still following the course of its death dive down towards the planet. Twilexis, suddenly you feel crystal under your hand, and Kinesthelesian noses against your palm into your side, and he says, Twilexis, my child, the DM made a mistake in your last turn. You should have rolled a d10, not a d6. You can save the yacht, my child. Swing over to save them. Roll your daring and roll a d10 and take the highest.
Okay, well,
Or do
the
something
horse
else
just,
if
like-
you like, but you can still have a d10.
can't the horse just bamf you over to the yacht?
That's exactly what I was going to tell you to do, is take Kinesthelesian and just bamf him.
sure.
So you can go ahead. You can roll either, if you want to get to the yacht, you can roll a daring and a d10. If you want to take another action, a different action, let me know. It's still up.
I like that Kinesthelesian has appeared while Horatio is coming at me with murder in his eyes, which, by the way, I've never seen. It's always been emerald in his eyes, not murder.
Yes.
And this opportunity to save the yacht. And I rolled a 9 on that d10, so
Yes.
I think I I leap onto Kinesthalesian and find some useful rigging to launch ourselves.
Yes.
Can Kinesthalesian just run to the yacht?
Yes.
Yeah.
Kinesthalesian, in a burst of rainbows and butterflies that just like crystal butterflies out of nowhere.
And I'm hitting Angry Seal. You see? He's my friend from way back.
You just bamf straight under Horatio as he comes over your head and hits the deck. You are in this beautiful moment, the wind flowing through your hair as you triumphantly gallop across the Rainbow Bridge towards Puff and Sinestra and Giselle. And you are out there and you make it. I am going to, yes, you make it to the space yacht. And if you right onto the helm and you grab it and you yank it and you pull the yacht up out of its spiral. Yes. All right.
Yes, did it.
Pyre and
Nice.
Mandrake, you have
So
Horatio flying in towards you. Twilexis, is there anything else you want to do? Sorry, I didn't mean to.
I just had really satisfied ears.
Yes. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off there.
Okay.
Pyre and Mandrake, what would you like to do? You've got, who would like to take action first? You've got Horatio coming in. You've got, and you can see that Twilexis has stabilized the yacht. All the vessels are stable, but Sinestra and Horatio are still on their feet.
Okay, what is Puff's situation right now?
Puff is currently engaged in a swashbuckling duel with Sinestra, and he
Wait,
seems.
whose girlfriend is Sinestra, by the way?
Mine.
But you burned that
Okay.
relationship.
Yeah, it's gone.
So
Okay,
yeah,
so
you're not
Okay.
going to be
can
able
I
to.
can I
make an
see
emotional
them
appeal.
fairly well?
You can, yes.
I'm gonna shoot her.
Okay.
It's at 8 now, right?
It is an 8 to shoot Sinestra.
Well, now it's a 7.
Okay. What did you roll?
3.
A 3. Okay. You, Puffus, you are battling claws against sword. Suddenly a light streaks across you. What did you shoot at her?
I shot at her with my laser flintlock.
Okay.
And these things are just not accurate for shit, and especially across this distance. It's amazing that I even hit the wall behind her.
All right. But you did hit more than the wall behind her. You go, ah! She, like, streaks across, just across the
Probably more
top
emotional
of her back.
damage than it is
Yes.
physical damage.
It is. It really is. You burn a hole through her elaborate brocaded coat, and she turns and stares at you, and that second emotional distraction drops her another point. Okay. Pyre, what would you like to do? You have Caster with you. You have Horatio swinging in. You've got the ship. You've got the Beast of Briar. What would you like to do?
I put my hands out. Horatio, wait. Stop. You don't need to give in to these this hate will eat away at you. You don't need to give into it. Just let it. You can just let it go, and we can all walk away from here happy and alive.
Horatio has already been, his challenge rating for heart has already been dropped from 5 to 4. So go ahead and roll a task against 4.
Am I rolling handsome for this?
Yes.
I've been itching to use handsome for a minute.
There you go.
4.
Horatio, as he looks at you and Caster clinging to you, he looks and sees Giselle clinging to Puff, and he looks at Sinestra and the cold fury in her eyes. As she looks at Mandrake, and she and he are locked in mortal combat. And Horatio through his teeth. But he sheaths his sword, his knife. Says, I will give her one more try. But I'm totally taking that ship back when we get back to port. Don't tell her.
That's between y'all.
And he looks at Castor, and Castor's like, no, man, I'll totally help you. No, 100%. Yeah, we're bros. Bros. They like bump fists. Okay, and that brings us back to Puff. You are there battling it out with Sinestra, and Sinestra looks around and realizes that she sees Horatio sheath his knife. She sees that Castor and Giselle are no longer on her side, and she looks at Mandrake coldly, and she's like, so be it. You've taken my crew. You've taken my weapon, she says to you.
Wait.
You've broken my heart for the last time, Mandrake.
Yeah, whatever.
And she reaches down into her pocket and pulls out a remote.
Ah, shit.
At least I can take you two with me, she says to Puff and to Giselle. And you see, of course, this is a self-destruct button.
Oh, gosh.
I will
Well,
let...
yeah, and Twilexis too. And
Yes,
the
and
horse.
Twilexis and Carissa, and the crystal horse.
Well, the names would be so complicated.
Yes.
I just want to make sure of one thing, that Carissa, you're aware of the mechanic that you can sacrifice one of your touchstones to clear your peril rating?
Yes. Well, here's what's going to happen.
Manny, you would say that.
Yes, I would.
This is the moment of truth. I want all four of you to make a roll against Sinestra's current rating of 7, because you are all in the blast radius.
Aren't Pierre and I on a different ship?
Yes, but that ship is in the blast radius.
Okay,
I've just decided.
gotcha.
I want all of you to make a roll against her as her finger closes on the button. If you wish to clear your peril at this time, all of you are pretty low, but all of you have some peril. If you wish to declare that you are going to sacrifice one of your touchstones to clear your peril, you may do so before you make your roll. And
Absolutely.
okay. So Puff is going to clear his peril first. Anybody else want to sacrifice a touchstone to clear their peril?
It doesn't help me in the roll, right?
It
just
does
means
not,
I get.
but it just means that you're not going to die
Or you're not
or
going
be
to
in
be...
danger.
This is probably the last roll.
This is the last roll.
At least
yes.
one of us is probably going to live. So
Yes.
I think it's okay.
I can't.
Yes,
give
this is
up.
for storytelling purposes.
Yeah.
This is the final moment of your. This is the final test of your character.
No.
No for Twilexis. Yes for Puff. Mandrake and Pyre. No for Pyre. Mandrake.
I already
No.
gave up my girlfriend. I'm not giving up my horse.
Yeah, you can't give up my horse.
Yes.
My horse.
Puff, you have Terpsichore's Vaunt comes spiraling out, and you see it now. Dave is still at the wheel. Giselle is pressed against you on your arm. You can sacrifice one of your touchstones in order to make this shot against Sinestra. Which one are you going to sacrifice?
Definitely the Vaunt.
All right. Do you want to? I'm going to let you go first then. Just tell me what you're going to do.
So with the blood, like my own blood starting to turn my fur all red, I'm gonna stand up straight and hold Giselle close, and I'm gonna grin as I see my ship coming in from behind,
Yes.
and it's gonna crash into what's her face.
Okay. Everybody go ahead and make your roll against a 7. And actually, let me have everybody declare what they're going to do. So, Puff, that's going to be a vicious roll because you're an attacking.
That's vicious as fuck.
It sure is.
Are you like steering that thing with a remote right now?
Mm-hmm. And I
with-
like how you're gonna have it crash into her, and she's standing right in front of you.
It must
so
have
we're gonna,
an antenna or some kind of protrusion that's gonna just hit
Yeah.
her. Yeah.
We'll address that.
There's enough space. The way I'm picturing it, there's enough space.
Okay. Let's go to Mandrake. What is your action going to be that you're going to roll?
I'm gonna cock the gun and shoot her again.
All right, that'll also be a vicious against 7. Pyre, what is your action going to be that you would like to use?
I'm going to grab Caster and duck for cover.
Great. That is going to be daring because you are once again going to shield him with your own body.
Yeah.
Twilexis, what is your action going to be?
I am going to, filled with the joy and confidence of Kinesilesia, I am going to say to Sinestra, you don't have to do this. We forgive you. We are all crew together.
You say as I shoot at her, and he
And
crashes the ship
crashes
into
the
her.
ship. Everybody go ahead and roll.
What do I roll?
That's,
Roll-
that's handsome.
That is definitely handsome, yes.
I have rolled a 5.
All right, here we go.
All right. Twilexis rolls an 8.
I'm scared to roll.
Pyrite rolled a 9.
Yeah.
I rolled a 5. He rolled a 9.
Pyrite rolled a 9.
You
rolled...
I got 7.
Puff rolled a 7.
I rolled a 5.
And you rolled a 5. All right. So nobody got below their peril. So this is a very high rolling game.
I did miss though.
So
I mean, it's a flintlock gun. You already established that.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks gorgeous. It just doesn't work.
all right. So
Who else failed?
remind me, just you actually.
Okay.
Uh,
It's all right. I got the chandelier thing. I'm good for the day.
all right.
You saved the ship,
You
so
did,
that's kind of a
you
big
did.
deal.
I killed the
So
dragon.
here's-
I got the dragon and the chandelier.
Here is how this
Yeah.
You
resolves.
looked great doing it.
You did, and that's the important thing.
Yeah. It's the coat.
Here is how this resolves. Twilexis, as you say this, Sinestra looks at you, and for just a second you see, as she takes in Kinesthesian's crystalline aura, you see her reach a moment of inner peace. And then the Terpsichore's vaunt smashes into the ship, which explodes in an enormous fireball around you. Kinesthesian sees this coming and bamfs you out of there, and you are safe. Puff, as this fireball goes off, you click.
I want Giselle.
Mhm.
I was thinking
Yes.
Giselle would use her spells to protect us.
Yes, I love it. As the fireball goes off, a shimmering sphere of jewel tones and sparkles goes off around you, and the flames overtake you, but the heat and the burning just doesn't even touch the two of you. As she
And I pull her
takes,
into a kiss.
Yes, and she takes your face and lets you, as she runs her fingers through your beautiful and unsinged white fur.
Are they then rocketing through the air towards our ship,
Uh,
having been launched by the explosion?
Pyrite, as the fireball washes over the ship, you put your body between yourself and Castor. The flames lick at you both, but just slightly too far away thanks to your quick action pulling him down behind the helm. And as they rocket overhead, he once again grabs you by the hair and pulls you into a tight embrace. And after all this has gone down, about 2 seconds later, Mandrake, you fire a harpoon into the mess.
Does the explosion envelop me?
It goes.
Because I did not dive for cover like they did.
You are just slightly out of range, so it goes right past you, kind of like it gets like all the smoke in your eyes, and you watch as the harpoon goes through the flame over the bow of the space yacht and just sort of flops on the deck.
And I'm gonna, as this thing goes past me, I'm just gonna turn to my crew as the flames recede from me, or whatever flames do, dissipate.
Yes.
And I'm just gonna say, "That's right. Turns out I'm immune to fire."
And that is where you guys have successfully defeated the dragon, and defeated in various ways your counterparts. You all head back together to the orbital pleasure station, and where Jim the Lawbot hands over to you all a small case containing a number of keys that he says unlocks the various vaults belonging to Balthasar Germain, and then goes bobbling off happily as everybody except Mandrake is vigorously making out with their counterpart, and only Mandrake says, "Hey, you didn't tell us where all the vaults are." And that's where we cut the scene, with keys to vaults that you don't know where they are. And a very expensive sarcophagus. And a hole in Pyre's orbital space station.
Yes. I would like to say to Pyre before we all, cut out, I'll be extending my stay. And I'd like to talk to you about the spice trade, if you need some spices here on your station.
Must flow.
The spice must flow, says Giselle.
Carissa, are you muted?
No, sometimes I actually don't say anything when I move my mouth.
Does anybody else have any last action they want to take as the any last quip for the camera?
Yes. When we were arriving at the station, I had pulled out the deed to the SS Mandrake Harm, and was about to sign it over to Angry Seal, thinking that I was going to be a quadrillionaire.
Yep.
But when, in fact, Jim leaves without telling us where the vaults are, I quickly take it back and light it on fire.
Wait, but don't you need the deed for yourself?
I have other copies. This is just for signing purposes.
This isn't the transfer of title. This is,
I actually light it on fire with my hair, thus demonstrating that quite obviously I was immune to fire the whole time. It just doesn't come up that much.
Yes.
I'm also obviously still riding Kinesilegian.
Yes.
Through the whole everything. I'm very protective of this horse. And I ride the horse with my key back to my pleasure sloop.
I give chase.
Yeah, whatever happens after there, we'll find out in the next episode.
Yes. And Serratio is riding behind you, side saddle, and we see his hand reaching into your pocket, looking for the key.
He's so sketchy.
And you slap his hand away. Oh, sorry.
Puff still watches Twilixless as she rides away.
Yes, and Pyre, any last words as your friends split off?
Nothing could top everything that just happened. This was so strong and so beautiful.
And so space and so pirate.
I am so proud to be a part of it.
And Castor whispers in your ear, "This is going to be my greatest story ever."
I'm sure it is, babe.
And scene!
Yeah.
Great game, everybody. That was
All
Beautiful Space Pirates
Good
by
job.
Grant Howitt.
Nice.
Thank you, Sarah.
That was a spectacular game, you guys. Great work, everybody.
That was like Michael Bay meets like the Titanic or something.
that was really good.
That was like the 4th or 5th Pirates of the Caribbean movie in terms of chaos, but yeah.
No, that was beautiful from start to finish.
It felt like
Oh.
the right amount of chaos to me.
Yes. Oh, we never even brought in the Civil War of Ecclesiarchy 6. It just never came
Oh
up.
my goodness.
Yeah.
It sure didn't.
I was ready in case you
guys don't
guys slayed the
understand.
beast too soon.
She was working on this one shot like all weekend. Like every time I walked in, she'd be on her phone typing or she'd writing in this notebook that she has. And I was just like, it's 3 hours. What are we going to do? Now I know. She's fleshed out a galaxy for us.
She had to be prepared for all possibilities.
I really did.
Yeah.
I was so afraid that you had just declared your Mexican standoff. I made a mistake on the Mexican standoff. I didn't have you roll for it, and I'm sorry.
I didn't
just
realize I should have at that point.
Yes, same here. I hadn't figured out that mechanic,
Yeah.
part of the mechanic yet. I thought you just forced a Mexican standoff with the beast of Briar, and I was like, what if he kills it in like the first move of the game?
No, it doesn't say that I get to free kill something.
Yes, it does not.
All right.
All
well,
right.
Let's sign off. Thank you to our viewers. We'll see you next time. Not next week. We're going to take a hiatus till January. But we will see you Friday for our special Shadows of Arconia one-shot in which our main characters from the main campaign will do a non-canon Battle Royale match at levels 5, 10, 15, and 20 to see which of them can murder all of the others.
Who is the strongest Arconian?
I hope Daro is being prepared in 4 different forms.
Did wind up needing dice.
All right. Other than that, that'll be our last one of that show for the year, and then we'll be back with both shows again in January. So thank
Does
you.
anybody
everyone.
else feel like this needs a sequel though? Because
Definitely,
I do.
we gotta bring these characters back. We gotta find the damn vault. Yeah.
I would love to do more. This is like only my second game, like aside from the other campaign that I did. This is like,
Yeah.
it was so new and fun. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining
Thank you
us.
guys. This was an amazing game.
Thank you for doing it.
And
for
thank
us.
you
This
to
is
everybody
awesome.
watching for watching
All right.
and staying up
Peace
late
out.
with us. Peace out.